Okay.
My audio levels look good on OBS, but it might be a little too loud. I'm not sure. Where's my other web browser?
Oh, dude, I didn't realize we were playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
You like
Great stream.
ads, bro?
I love your new intro, man.
It's sponsored.
Yeah. Sponsored D&D stream.
Give me a dashboard.
Because it requires so many resources to host a stream of this kind.
Episode
Because it requires so many resources to host a stream of this kind. Okay, I'm gonna leave this call and tell you how the volume is.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this call and tell you how the volume is.
Cool.
Leave this call and tell you how the volume is.
Who is this?
Okay, it's fine, but you are streaming your own stream audio, so it's echoing infinitely.
Okay, yeah, well, I was listening to it.
It just gets a little bit quieter each time. And now I'm hearing it again.
It's muted now. Give it like 5 seconds. Not used to depending on people.
Holy shit, I can buy nunchucks?
Bat.
I don't think you can. They have a monk. They're monk weapons, so you would need.
I mean, I can still buy
appropriate
them.
access. I don't think you can though. You have to have special access to them.
Beat the shit out of myself with them, but hey.
I think you might be able to use them without the accessibility, but you wouldn't be able to access them normally.
So it says the clubs are free, price 0. So I just get a stick.
Just
Yes.
buy infinite
Yes.
clubs. I'm rich.
Because I'm kind of thinking going with a wooden
nice.
shield and a club,
Sorry.
and doing that because a club is 1d6 as opposed to a one-handed staff, which is 1d4.
Well, but this two-handed staff is 1d8.
I can't use a shield, and I'm squishy as fuck, boy.
Okay, then don't get hit.
I'm just thinking.
Don't get
for
targeted,
now,
rather.
thinking a club.
You could also use a buckler that is made of wood. It's not in the equipment list, but it logically could exist. So
Yes, it does. People in this world have discovered how to put multiple planks together and tie them to your arm.
Okay, but what's the advantage of a buckler over a wooden shield? Other than
you don't
half the
need
AC
to
bonus?
hold it. You can just strap it to your arm, and as long as that hand is free, you can use it to block. Or rather, you can raise it, and then you can use it to block as a reaction. But the point is
Can I not reactively block with a normal shield?
No, I'm just saying that you don't need to hold it in the hand. The hand is still free to do whatever.
The key
So
part
you're
of
saying
it.
that I could use a two-handed stick and club people with that.
But you would have to release a hand to use the shield. But you wouldn't have to draw the shield or strap it to yourself.
Yeah, I'm
It
thinking
would just
that,
automatically be in your hand anytime it's open, basically.
right, but then I'd have to spend an action switching back to two-handed later.
Well, if you wanted to cast anything anyway, that would be the case anyway.
Yeah.
There is a third option, by the way. If you got adapted cantrip or some other effect that gave you a cantrip of another tradition, you could learn the shield cantrip, which just lets you cast a shield, which is
I'm
you
kind
know
of
you don't need any hands for that.
I'm kind of thinking just buckler and club. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that would let you actually
And I
cast
could
with
cast
that hand
and
if you
have 50% more damage out of my weapon than I do currently.
Well, your
And I've got
weapon
the
wouldn't
money
give
to
you any
spend.
damage if it's 1d4, because you could just punch someone for 1d4.
No, it's the club is 1d6.
Well, I'm saying
Staff
if
is
the 1d4 staff doesn't do anything for you, because you could just punch someone that hard.
Hold on, can I hold the shield with one hand and punch with my other?
If you
Why
wanted to.
not?
No. In this world, you're only allowed to wield a shield if you have exactly a weapon in your other hand.
You could also just wield 2 shields.
Those kind of things have
because
never happened before.
Attacking with a shield is also 1d4. So
Wait,
you could
okay,
also
hold on.
get a shield spike, and then it's a 1d6. And then
That's
you don't
a
even
bit
need the
metal.
club.
Unless it's a wooden shield spike, which seems really dumb. Can I get a wooden shield spike?
You could also get a wooden shield boss, which is just a blunt
Okay.
version of the same thing.
So I'm not actually going to do this, but I have to know, just to know, if I held the shield in both hands, do I get the AC bonus from both of them?
It's a circumstance bonus, meaning it doesn't stack with anything.
You're right, yeah.
Damn.
Real quick, I just turned on the desk fan like 15 seconds ago. Is there a lot of background noise or?
There is no
Absolutely
background.
none.
I'll check your stream. Hold
Awesome.
on.
Well, if it's not on the Discord, it won't be on the stream. Damn, you can hear me scratching my chin though.
Alright, that's fine. Although, like, there's clearly background noise of, like, the air, but, like, you can't do anything about that because you're using, like, microphone boost and stuff.
Just play in a vacuum. Duh.
Yeah.
Turn on the vacuum? All right.
It mostly depends on, like, not using microphone boost, but if you have to do that, so be it.
Well, the annoying thing is not that I have to use microphone boost, it's that I have to use fucking AGC.
I don't know what that is.
Automatic gain control.
Oh, yeah.
Which isn't doing anything awful, it just means that I can't control, like, it's not what level do you want it set at, it's just turning it on or off. Which basically is because the mic needs more power, so I had to use the USB adapter instead of the regular
Oh, power.
jack.
Well, it's unlimited power. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was...
Can't even break my name properly.
It's still... People can sneak up on me on Discord, because whenever I have OBS launched, it, like, auto-enables streamer mode and gets rid of the noise for people joining or leaving the chat room.
Nice. Just, like,
Okay, so
revealed
it's been-
weakness.
I'm spending a GP on a buckler with a club.
Okay.
What a champ.
Assuming the wooden buckler has the same stats, or is it, like, somehow weaker?
It is the same stats.
Yeah, buckler's already weak enough. It doesn't really matter.
We're, just like...
And a common shield is made out of mostly wood anyways,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter.
Okay. But yeah,
Like
figure
even a regular shield would be wood with maybe with a metal rim or
I mean,
studs
you-
something like that. But
you could roll with the shield boss attached to the buckler instead of a club if you'd rather, like, you know, have both hands free.
So you can go ooga booga boo.
I would actually really like to have a club to hit people with, to be perfectly honest.
That's that orc
Okay.
party coming out.
Just bludgeon people with the power of nature.
I just like the idea that
Also, I can't cast Shillelagh on my hands, though I would if I could.
that would be a great build.
only if you were like a Trent or something like that, you know.
Oh.
That's not
Loopholes.
at this level.
I like the idea that Baz is just really jealous that we all got new toys. He just like went out and bought himself a stick and a round stick.
He didn't even buy himself a stick. You can just find them.
Yeah,
Your
it's
price
price
zero.
zero. I just
No, but he's
listen,
gonna tell
listen.
us that he bought it.
He bought he found a smaller stick than he used to have. There's a downgrade.
He could have just snapped his staff, honestly. Just cut it off a
Somehow,
little.
somehow you break the staff in half and it becomes more dangerous. It's like a
I mean-
broken bottle sort of thing.
It would become sharp. So arguably,
But it's dealing bludgeoning
now-
damage.
Well, maybe that stick is actually versatile as.
Homebrew.
You can argue that, maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna push the button just to make sure I've done this properly.
Bloop.
One of my
I didn't want it to be thrown. Also, hi. When did you get here?
If you should probably put the throwing the club if you're ever going to throw your club as a separate
Yeah,
a range strike.
It was in traits, so I thought I'd copy it there, but definitely gonna make that a separate thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
Yeah, and we'll start it. We'll shoot through starting at 6:15 or 4:15, and we'll get going from there.
What does the potency crystal do?
But
I
once you declare an
posted the
attack
description.
before you roll it, you can upgrade your weapon for the rest of the round to a +1 striking weapon.
Which means you have a +1 to hit, and it's a 2 weapon dice instead of just 1.
I see.
It's
So
very powerful.
free
I should
action?
say. Yes.
Is it a one-time use?
Yes, one-time use. And you can't have any other talismans affixed to your weapon. Until it's used, of course, or removed. We had to buy the...
I just happened to scroll through and like see there was debate on giving it to Norbert.
Nobody really gave any input, so I guess we just went with what I said.
Look, I got a fucking stick, okay? I'm thrilled to death.
You never know, dude. The Norbert's gonna have that talisman and he's gonna go blow his critical load all over the monster and it's gonna save everyone.
Maybe. Or maybe you'll roll a 1 and we'll be really
Or maybe
angry
he'll
at our
just
luck.
use it to season his savory Volvarias.
Hey,
I'm glad you guys are taking notes on the
Okay.
mushrooms that I totally named offhand. I took 0 notes last session, and I have like the sparest of notes for this session. My boss has been breathing down my neck all week.
Dude, I am so cool with winging it, you don't even know.
Yeah, and so I have a vague outline of sort of like set pieces that I will lead you between. And, go off the rails, then we will play mostly by improv. I have some thoughts about possibilities where things could go wrong, and you guys can go off the rails. And but I will hold my peace.
We'll find them.
I did mention that there is a possibility this session that you guys have about a week of downtime.
Mm-hmm.
So ponder what you want to do while we do other things.
I have 2 questions now.
Okay.
First off, and you don't have to answer this if I don't know, do mist-warped duders count as aberrations?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Cool. Perfectly useless. All right. Second question, can I use my 2 focus points to make good berries as part of my daily prep?
You can only cast it once. I mean, you could cast it twice, but casting it a second time will make your previous pads of good berries disintegrate.
You can make 2 good berries, but you can only hold 1 for the pageant.
Well, here's the thing. Every spell level you upcast it, you can make 1 more per batch, but the previous batch just spoils when you cast it again.
Yeah, if you cast good berry again, the berry withers away.
Okay, so I only get 1. Got it.
But the other part of the question was that if he could, like, cast it as part of daily prep, because it takes an hour to cast in this version for some reason. Which is
Yeah, it's
coincidentally
intended
the same.
to like most sort of healing actions, like doing medicine and stuff. It's intended that you're doing it as part of like an hour break, which in this is a short rest.
Well, I mean, he's capable of medicine, so
Yeah.
he'll never do that otherwise. So that's why I'm asking if you could do it as part of daily prep.
Yes, but that will leave you. Well, then you can refocus, can't you? During the next
It
hour.
would take him 10 more minutes to refocus.
So yes, you can.
I mean, I don't have anything else to spend my focus points on, so I'm not really even worried about
Not yet.
refocusing.
Yeah, but 10
I
minutes
have
is
2
whatever.
of them, so yeah, it's whatevs. I just want to know if I have a berry or not.
Yeah, you start the day with a berry.
Cool. That's all I needed.
Are we going
Provided
to
that
pick
you
off...
can find a freshly picked berry, which in the city, yes, you can.
He
It
has
takes
no
a
leshy.
little bit of work.
Leshy probably grows berries on it or something.
I would
just-
not pick berries off of that.
Also, I'm
The
pretty sure
quenchiest.
I'm not sure I'm okay with eating my friends.
Cactus fruit, man.
It's the quenchiest.
It's okay. You have survival. so you
Ooh,
can probably
man.
find a berry.
I don't really want to go full soak on this.
No?
But yeah, if you end up on like the elemental plane of fire or something.
I mean, you missed your chance with the mushrooms last time.
I don't think mushrooms are berries.
No.
I don't know good shroom.
Bananas are botanically berries, though. So there you go. You can
man.
have a good banana.
I already have a good banana, my boy.
Okay, so we will get started. One of the things that I'd like to bring over from the last campaign that I participated in was making you guys do the summaries of last session. And so somebody will do it this week, and then somebody else will do it next week, and so on until everyone's done it, and then we'll loop back around in a vague order.
Nice.
Okay, I didn't write any notes, but I generally remember what happened.
Yeah. So the point of this is not necessarily do we remember everything factually 100%. Feel free to flavor things with the way that your characters may have remembered them. And it's just to get everyone sort of in the storytelling mood. So, if somebody wants to narrate, yeah, I killed a dude and then I went and looked for some mushrooms while everyone else did the hard work, I think that gets the part across. So somebody can take it away.
All I remember.
And Baz got us fucking lost.
Yeah. Anyway, dude thought he could read a map.
I don't know if you'll get anyone to like.
Our intrepid heroes went in quest in search of a box containing an unknown artifact, but it wasn't in there.
I feel like you're not going to get only one person to tell this story because like everyone's going to pitch it.
That's fine
I mean,
too.
if we're starting a thing, I will cease and desist. I don't know if we had named who's actually doing it.
I don't know. I'm kind of cool with just everyone fabricating this as we go.
You guys are in charge of doing the recap, so because it gives me endless amusement to watch people suffer.
Well,
Yeah,
that
I
did
mean,
happen. There
like,
were
yeah,
also some zombies.
We were tasked to go retrieve a case holding some mysterious artifact from, essentially be the handoff. And we found their camp, which was abandoned, and the artifact was missing. And then suddenly a bunch of spooky ghasts showed up. And they were gross.
Baz got the shit knocked out of him.
Yeah, I got the shit beaten out of me. Norbert cut a man in half, head to toe.
And then he ate some mushrooms.
I don't really remember much else other than mushrooms.
Was it a little
Probably the
hazy?
concussion talking. Yeah.
On the way there, we did encounter a pothole and broke our wagon axle, and then we repaired it, but
Riveting.
inconsequential.
Yeah. And so then we ripped the gem out of the head of the head of the head Zambo.
We burned the body.
The not
Put it in-
Zambo.
Put it in a box, and we took it to the wizard guy, Sage Radovan, and he was like, "Neat, go get something else for me." So we went to go pick up some more ingredients, and the guy who had them had a really awful shop, like 2 by 2 by 3.
It was like inside of a high school locker.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part of the story.
I was out looking for a daisy for Norbert to eat when apparently some shit went down. I'm pretty sure I wasn't there.
Yeah, there was this black figure in the window.
And I've got 3 twigs and 6 stones.
Yeah, that's a more important actually.
Write it
Go on.
down.
Counting. Why are you counting?
You'll understand someday.
He's secretly, unbeknownst to the rest of the party, actually playing Minecraft on the side.
I swear to fucking God, if this comes down to sticks and stones at the end of the campaign,
We already went there. Why do we have to go back? We already have that technology. We're moving on to iron ore next.
No, no.
We truly were the sticks and stones that can't break my bones.
Boy.
don't talk to me about broken bones, okay?
But yeah, that was mostly correct, and so we'll pick up where we left off. So Norbert and Baz were outside Hawk's mysterious alchemical wares, and if I recall saying last time that Hawk is sort of positioned in the city, not as sort of a consumer focused alchemist, but one who supplies
Reagents.
ingredients and sort of pre-processed goods to other alchemists who make potions and elixirs and oils and stuff. So what Wes has is sort of infused reagents. Hawk produces those on a large scale for anybody who doesn't really want to go out and procure their own, fire sand and shit. Hawk did mention that he had the package for you guys that you were instructed to pick up. One bag of temporally aspected star sand.
Yes, for the Eye of Tyndalos.
Yes.
And he was pinned to the wall by a dagger through his robes.
Yes, and so as you went, he went to go fetch it from a back room, and as you guys were waiting in his high school locker of an entry hallway, you hear him scream, and I believe Wes and Enda rushed into the back room to figure out what the noise was, and you found him pinned to the wall by a dagger, a black-clothed figure sort of straddling the window, a bag under his arm, and in the midst of the chaos, in the center of the floor is a single black business card. And as you arrive, you see the figure sort of flip up the window, and it seems to have fallen onto or climbing onto the upper floors.
Are we gonna roll initiative?
Oh,
Is that what's
so
gonna
so
happen?
so this is one of the things that will be possibly recurring that I've really tried to be better about. It's sort of a thing that I admire about other DMs. This is what's called a skill challenge. So if anybody watched Matt Colville, he's sort of the guy who invented these. And the idea is that these are for things where it's not just one check, but it's also not a combat. So when you flee from enemies, when you chase enemies, when you're escaping from a burning building, things like that. And so you will have opportunities to make skill checks. I will have difficulties for those, and I will be keeping track of a score. And I will be sort of narrating the scene as it proceeds. If you succeed on those skill checks, then you will be making progress in the scene. If you fail on those skill checks, there will be penalties. You know, people might escape, you might get crushed by a burning beam, so on and so forth. You guys during this proceeding are in charge of using your human ingenuity and the skills that your characters are capable of to propose actions that you can take to succeed in the scene. So in the case of, say, escaping from a burning building, you may be like, well, I have the ability to conjure water with a spell. Well, okay, that may not be a skill, but it's a resource that you can expend that will give you a success in terms of the skill challenge. I want to use my athletics to lift a burning beam so it does, or catch it so it doesn't crush somebody. And so that will succeed, you save yourself from the burning beam. If you fail, you are crushed by a burning beam. And you may take damage. And so I encourage you to not just sort of use your physical abilities, but also maybe things like, you know, nature to recognize a faster path through the woods as you're trying to escape from an ogre or track down an ogre. And since you're in a city, you can use things like deception or society or perception. There are lots of opportunities for these things, and I will try to narrate you guys into ways that you can.
So
do I have any idea that anything is happening inside?
Yeah.
Well, a window broke.
But we're
No, he didn't
Probably
break it. He just
someone's
opened it,
shouting
right?
by now.
Yes, you did hear them shout, and very shortly, you see sort of a shadow pass over you as a figure leaps off the roof, lands in front of you, gives you an odd glance, and then books it down the street with a bag under his arm.
I just wanted to make sure the Hawk, the alchemist, isn't like stabbed into the wall, right? He's just like pinned.
No, he's just pinned by his clothes.
Gotcha.
He's not wounded.
Okay.
Sure.
So immediately, Enda's first reaction will just be to attempt to chase him out the window or whatever the fastest means.
Yeah, I was
I'm like-
expecting diving out the window
Yeah.
immediately would
Yep.
have been the
Okay.
call for both of us.
Roll acrobatics.
Let me open my.
Bam.
Bam!
Oh, by the way, so you guys will be tackling this as a group, and so one person will roll at a time, and any skill can only be used twice for the duration of the challenge.
Okay.
2 times total across the entire team, and any one person can only roll the same skill once.
Oh, okay.
So that was 1 acrobatics for Enda.
So he rolled for me also coming out the window?
Yes, you guys are sort of you can follow the leader here.
Okay.
Otherwise it just evolves into an endless stream of athletics checks. So guys, you guys are running down the street.
Yeah. Are you tired yet?
Because if I wanted you guys to roll a bunch of athletics checks, I just asked for a bunch of fucking athletics checks. So you guys dive out the window, and are you attempting to sort of follow him up the roof, or are you just going out the window?
Well, he already used acrobatics.
Yeah, I would just be trying to chase this guy as directly as possible.
Okay, so you dive out the window and you scamper up, and you realize that he's climbed sort of like a trellis up to the roof, and you match his pace and you find him on the roof, and he's looking around for the next spot to jump to, and so I will revise my narration regarding what Baz and Norbert are up to. And you can see quite obviously that there are now two people on the roof of this building that we're standing in front of. One of them you recognize. One of them is wearing like all black. His face is uncovered, but he's got sort of a hood up, and he has sort of like maybe like half the size of like a sandbag, just like loose tucked under his arm. And seeing that he no longer has the advantage of height. He will leap off the roof and lands in front of Baz and then books it down the street.
All right. So,
Okay, well, I'm obviously a little startled. I looked at Enda to see if that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm
Just
just
sort
just hot on his heels, just kind of Baz! Get him!
weren't there two people on the roof? What happened?
Oh, sorry, Wes was on the roof. I mean, Wes can be on the roof too if you want.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were chasing two people.
I just start
suddenly.
hauling
No.
ass after this guy. Just, a giant football tackle of me chasing after this little dude.
All right. Since this is seeming to be a foot chase, Wes will drink one of his Quicksilver mutagens to give himself a speed bonus.
Wow.
And we'll, chase after.
Okay. So Baz is quickly gaining on him, less laden down. When your target slips into an alley, and you hear a crash of wood as he knocks a pile of crates across the way. How are you surmounting this obstacle, Baz?
Right through it.
Okay, you give me an athletics check.
Ooh, not bad.
And like a half-orc steam train, you just sort of plow through the boxes. And what was in the boxes? What was in the boxes? Baz, what was in the boxes?
Assorted fabrics were in the boxes.
Assorted fabrics
Some
were
are
in the
strewn
boxes.
everywhere. Some are on me.
Oh, no.
I'm beautiful.
And so this now Calico steam train is gaining on this would-be thief, and as you blast out of the alleyway, and the rest of you guys are in tow behind this sort of flamboyantly fabric streaming off of him. You guys are catching up. You burst out of the shade of this alley into this crowded main street, and people sort of the crowds of the day have made space for you as you come barreling out. And you see the thieves' eyes. They immediately latch on to a guard across the way. And he points at you, Baz. And he screams, "Fabric thief! Fabric thief!" And you see the guard sort of blow his whistle and gesture to another one of his guard coworkers, and they start walking towards you. The rest of the crowd is making room, and as you watch, you see the thief sort of stand up and slowly try and slink back into the crowd.
Well, I mean, I immediately,
There seem to be two jobs here.
I immediately just acquiesce and go over to the guards and be like, "Hey, hands in the air. This is a big misunderstanding, officer."
So Oh, someone else has to.
I'd like to attempt to explain what's going on. Well, hopefully the other people, carry on without me.
Is there any chance that I can see this sort of transpiring and try to navigate myself through the crowd without seeming like I was in on this chase? With the guards being focused on Baz.
Yeah, so Baz, that'll require a diplomacy check.
Oh boy.
That's not that bad.
We'll get to you in a second.
Me no thief.
And whoever's trying to be stealthy, that'll be a stealth check.
Ooh, I got you.
I'm basically just writing on my badge, giving me any kind of clout. Spoilers, it doesn't do that.
So Baz, the guards are let's just say they're not trying to be hard asses, but you're not in the best of circumstances here.
Yeah, that's
They're
fair.
not quite in the clap to an iron stage, but they are definitely a little bit take you down to the station.
I understand. I mean, they're just doing their jobs.
So you're gonna go with them quietly, or you're gonna abandon this chase to your comrades?
Yes, but I'm gonna throw Pokey at Norbert. Just be like, "Hey, catch!"
That's not suspicious at all. Just throw this small object back to fucking Goblin.
Can I? Is it possible to roll an intimidation check to yell at the crowd angrily to move out of the way, away from the guy with the bag?
I think causing them to panic would make it even harder to find the guy.
But I'm intimidating. They'll get out of my way.
Okay. First, Norbert, you need to make a reflex save.
Oh,
No, I have to catch the fucking cabbage.
Okay. You can either choose to dodge or catch it. What are you trying to do?
Oh,
I'm gonna catch it in my mouth.
I thought that was the goal, was to catch it.
Well,
you
you
get to choose.
you have the option.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna catch the poor little cabbage.
Okay.
Poor thing.
You catch the quote unquote cabbage.
What was the cabbage's name?
It's Pokey.
Pokey was its name.
I don't know.
I was just say I feel like it had a different name, but it was never on a name tag, so I didn't know what it was.
That's the problem. Is I never put it on a tag somewhere. So
You've just forgot yourself. You don't use it enough.
I'm just going with different nicknames now every time.
All right.
Hey, let me put the nameplates on these fucking familiars.
Nelthy.
I thought Jem's familiar. He has a name.
He has a name.
Cactus boy.
Wes, who is Jem anyway?
Why the fuck did I just realized my fucking avatar is like the stupid yellow square thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had one.
That's your
Yeah.
that's your profile pic at Roll20.
Why the
It's not-
fuck
Yeah.
did it reset?
His name was Chloro.
Oh yeah, that's right. Pokey's better.
I think it's cabbage now.
Yeah, I think it's cabbage. It's just whatever noun
I mean,
was relatively green at the time.
It just keeps changing.
cabbage.
Cabbage question mark?
All right. What happened
So-
after that?
So Norbert, after catching the cabbage, brandishes it into the crowd in an attempt to intimidate them to get the hell out of his way. So yes, please do make an intimidation check.
Oh no!
It's too cute. They don't want to get out of the way.
That's the wrong
Unfortunately,
kind of
it has the exact opposite intent, and seeing a small green man wielding a spiked, deadly weapon of flora, people flip the hell out, and there's a stampede of people heading in both the direction of who was trying to be stealthy, of Enda,
Uh-huh.
who's sort of sneaking around the edge of the crowd, And you do manage to catch the thief up in the stampede, but he seems to be almost like body surfed. And Enda, you seem to be more like being surfed on. So you're having a little bit of trouble gaining on it. Baz is being sort of sat down on the corner and talked to sternly by the guards. They managed to untangle most of them, and a very distressed shopkeep has come up to you and is disciplining you with his tongue. Okay, that's not at all.
Okay.
I regret ever using that turn of phrase.
What kind of clothing shop did you steal from, dude?
He didn't have, he's too young to see this.
Oh,
You
man.
gotta get him away from here. He's a cabbage boy, not a cabbage man.
So as a revision, you did not run through a bunch of assorted fabrics. It was assorted bondage gear.
Great.
Right, so now I'm looking like a particularly sad horse.
There's belts and leathers all over you.
Oh my.
Maybe that they were like satisfying his lusty nipples.
Oh my god.
Well,
And as the crowd thins out, the whole commotion has spooked a pair of horses that were hitched to a carriage, and the thief lickety split with a flash of his knife unharnesses. That's the word, I guess. Unharnesses one of the horses and takes off on it down a side street.
Wes
Oh, no.
knows this town better than anyone else, and he knows that there's a faster way to intercept the thief.
They're also still on the roof, too, which that would make tracing him pretty
No,
easy.
we're all together. That's the point of this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he was with.
Why was I standing there doing nothing?
He's just, wow, they're really going after that guy. Yeah.
Is the horse close enough, like 20 feet away from me?
Yes.
Can I like throw my axe?
The horse.
No,
Listen,
wait.
there's guards. There's
Wait,
a
no.
stampede. You're gonna kill somebody.
Actually, no, I probably shouldn't incriminate myself any further.
But yes, Wes is gonna try and cut the thief off using his knowledge of the town.
Okay. So that would be. Let's go with society. Okay. So given his intended route, you recognize that sort of the seedy part of town is up ahead, in the direction that he's traveling. And you lead the party sans Baz. Unless Baz, do you want to attempt to make an escape from your current
Your
position?
punishment.
Incarceration.
Can I try to leave in a sort of get out of it in a nice way and not just
Like,
bolt?
guys, I really got somewhere to be.
You're gonna have to talk.
Can I like attempt to flash my Adventurers Guild badge and say that I'm needed? But I'll return to make it up to the shopkeep.
Yes. Do you intend to return?
I do intend to return.
Okay. Let's go with society.
Oh, that's not good, dude.
It's okay.
It's not.
So having lived among druids for so long, your ability to sort of navigate the social graces, and the social contracts of this town, you attempt to explain that you would rather fuck a chicken than break an oath. And staring at your current attire, and the shopkeep is like, well,
I've got two
that seems
thumbs.
perfectly reasonable for you to do, so I'm not sure we can let you go. And the guards eye you with a terrifying disgust. You may be the most degenerate individual they have seen in a long time.
Oh no.
That's
Oh,
racist.
I forget. Are there a lot of goblins in this city?
Not in the upper class, but they are around.
So I could ask a fellow goblin to like let all the other goblins know to look for him.
If you can see one.
Oh, you got that like underground lore, don't you?
Yeah, I got that goblin network, man.
So Wes leads you towards the seedy part of town, and yes, you do find it. You do start seeing more goblins, and because you know all the shortcuts, even though, say Wes, in your youth, you explored the city quite a bit.
I mean, he's lived here.
You're not super familiar with the kinds of people that run in the shady parts of town, but you know well enough to get your way around and what parts to avoid and what parts to keep a pace in. And as the corridors get tighter and tighter, the advantage that the thief has by being on a horse gets smaller and smaller. And you eventually see him abandon the horse. So you guys are like racing through parallel alleys. And you see him sort of like stop the horse and like leap forward off of it and keep running. And you guys are running parallel to him, and you see flashes in between buildings. Norbert, did you want to try and conjure some goblin support?
Yeah, man.
We need to slow him down.
And so with a strange yodel-like exclamation that no throat but that of a goblin could possibly reproduce, it sort of echoes among the buildings, and it transmits both a simple but complex series of directions. And as you guys are racing, the tight alleyways open up into a large courtyard in front of. Can I get a religion check from somebody?
Nobody has that trait.
Actually,
But you have the most wisdom.
That sees an interesting
I didn't get.
relic in the
Pass, you're
wall
not
of the
even
prison cell.
Yeah, he's not there. I
just
guess I'm
crying on
rolling.
the sidewalk somewhere.
I mean, Norbert rolled already.
He,
there. Well, Norbert rolled, so Norbert gets to think on this one.
okay.
You recognize the symbol in front of this large abandoned stone church as a church. Let me double check and make sure that I have the right deity here.
Church of Cabbage.
It ain't a church of cabbage. Age of Lost Almonds, religion. Yes, this is a large abandoned church of Abadar.
Yep. That's a church.
Riveting.
Wait, no, it's not a fucking bad Church of Abadar. I suck ass. It is a church of Norgorber.
Church of what? Norgorber.
Norgorber.
Is this what we're paying attention to right now? Like, why did we notice that?
Well, Norbert did. He's like, oh, that's
He's
my
in
dude.
Goblin Town, and it's named Norgorber. It's probably a Norgorblin.
I doubt that's relevant.
You would think, but maybe because you would think, you shouldn't think.
I think you need to get back in jail.
Oh, you're not going to jail, Baz. You're just getting us there and talking. But you are unfortunately detained for the time being.
They're just waving their
Having a
fingers
really-
at like, you nasty, nasty chicken.
I'm just having a really bad day.
So as your would-be thief sort of barrels towards the large double doors of this chapel, think sort of like a large, gray stone chapel. It's sort of it's dirty, it's run down, and it has a sort of like blackened stone exterior. It's sort of like Eastern European cities when like the cities get all old, and it's in a large sort of open courtyard. And he's running towards the wooden double doors when all of a sudden a fucking brick comes out of nowhere and like beans him in the shoulder, and he goes sprawling across the cobblestones, and the bag goes flying out from under
Note
his
to
arm.
self: don't fuck with the goblin mob.
Right?
Jeez.
And you look around to see where the brick possibly could have come from, and the courtyard is fucking empty except for you. So it's a goddamn mystery.
Norbert's looking out for you, Norbert.
Norbert seems to be something of... I can't really tell, honestly. It's fucking impossible to look up deities for this game.
You could. I mean, it's in the info thing.
I mean, I haven't used this yet. Keep going, don't worry about it. I'm just...
And so in the distance, you do hear sort of another corresponding yodeling trill.
Okay, you're making me really think the goblins just go.
Yeah, less Murloc and more yodeling, but yes. And Norbert, you interpret this as contract fulfilled.
Nice.
God damn.
And so that does bring us to the end of our skill challenge, and so you guys rolled very well, with the exception of Baz, and some failures along the way. But I hope that was fun.
I did get to explode through a bunch of crates, which was pretty.
Yeah, that was pretty
so.
clutch. I'm not gonna lie.
It did get you into a lot of trouble.
Unfortunately, my dice ran out completely empty on luck after that.
Just be glad that it's only social damage, not like physical damage. No burning beams falling.
I think you would have been able to take this.
At least the crates weren't full of scorpions.
Yes. If you
I
had
don't know.
proposed scorpions, then yes, you would have been dire straits.
I can vaguely communicate with animals, so I mean, I could have just been chasing this man down through the crowd.
Just throwing scorpions at him.
You're free, my children.
Okay.
So the thief, who now that you're a little bit close to and there's less sort of rustling clothing and people, you realize is sort of like a teenage human male. He's like clutching the shoulder that got beamed by a brick, and he's sort of crawling forward towards the sack of sand that flew out of his hands, which is in the direction of the church. And you guys are sort of you guys have arrived, I guess. I know what is your response to
All right. Well,
this
the
thief
muscle
on the
should
ground?
probably apprehend him.
I'm gonna very casually and coolly and dramatically stroll past him, step on his hand, and pick up the bag.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm going to walk up to him and take the last 6 Sabre Golverias I have and shove them in his mouth.
What is wrong with you?
Now you're out of mushroom.
Wes will walk up
So as
and
you sort of
check his
manhandle
wounds.
him and attempts to.
How conscious is he?
I mean, he's conscious.
Right. Okay. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure.
When he got
He
smacked in the
wasn't beaten in
shoulder.
the head.
Right. Right.
If he got bricked in the head, he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very unconscious.
Do you know
I don't
how
wanna
far that
go,
brick
dude.
fell right now? Because I don't.
I don't, because I can't see it. I'm not there.
Yeah. Go read your maps.
Well, Cabbage can tell.
Oh my god, Raymond.
Okay.
You could have ran through cabbage crates. The guy would have been like, my cabbages!
So as you sort of like manhandle and try and shove this mushroom in him, you hear him sort of like pitifully cry, "Boss! Boss!" And then so the doors of the church sort of slowly creak open, and lo and behold, it's fucking Solid Snake. It's the big boss himself. Thank you guys for attending my Smash Brothers fanfiction.
Oof.
I was in the Church of Norgor.
And so the inside of the church is it's dark. It's very dark. And ominously and theatrically steps out of the darkness. Another figure cloaked all in black. Can I get a perception check from everyone? Well, except for Baz. Sorry.
No, you can't.
And so he has his hood up. And you realize that as you attempt to look at his face, you only really realize that it's male because of sort of the shape of the shoulders and the chest. It could just be a broad-shouldered woman. If I wasn't narrating it like it was a man. Because as you attempt to sort of like peer under the hood, and he's not making any sort of attempts to hide his face, you realize that every time you look at the hood, you find your gaze distracted by something behind him, coming to the side of your vision, as though your perception is sliding off of his face. And as such, you have no idea what he looks like. Every other inch of his skin is clothed from tip to toe. Black gloves, black boots, quite edgy. You do also notice that he is absolutely covered in knives. Across his chest, you can see bits of handles peeking out of his boots as well. And slinking further out of the darkness, he is pursued by two large hounds. And they are larger than any dog that you have ever seen. They reach almost to his waist. More wolf than dog. And they're probably larger than some of the wolves that you've seen out in the wilds before.
Oof.
And they're larger than some of the dogs that you've eaten. And they sort of pace around his ankle quite obediently.
How much time has passed since the start of this chase?
Not too long. Maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, the mutagen's worn off by now.
Damn. That wasn't important. What
It
is
to me?
Yeah, I was considering it. How far would you say we are away from this mysterious doorway figure?
Let's say you're 60 feet away.
Okay.
And he opens with his voice is monotone, bland. If you heard it again, you wouldn't pin it on him. It is perhaps the collection of the voices of 1,000 people, and then you sort of take the average. He is the most bland-sounding person that you have ever met in your entire life.
Any striking features just kind of slide off of his existence.
Indeed. You definitely find it a struggle to recognize anything important about him, except for the fact that perhaps that you can't remember anything. And Wes, you're the only one who's really aware of it. You feel like your perception is being manipulated.
Can I try to identify what is happening?
Yes. The roll for that is occult.
All right. I'm actually trying this.
Yes, there is some sort of powerful enchantment on his gear. You're not exactly sure the exact source of it, but there seems to be some sort of magical force that is inhibiting your perceptions.
So who wants to say the first word?
Well, he's talking first, which is why I started describing his voice. And then I got sidetracked. But he says, well, it seems one of my underlings has been inconveniencing somebody. May I ask for your names?
Endo will sort of square up and just respond simply, call me Mutt.
We're with the Delvers Society.
Norbert.
the figure appears to. You see the hood sort of lean or incline towards the thief on the ground, and you almost hear a sigh. It's very soft from the distance, and he's sort of slowly approaching. He's approaching the figure on the ground. Are you still attempting to shove a mushroom in his face?
Oh yeah.
Wes would have been trying to get Norbert away from him.
Okay. And he says, my, we do have bad luck running afoul of the Delvers. You have my apologies. You may call me K.
Wes.
Well, K.
Knight, could I get I think you have it, I think it's underground lore?
Mm-hmm. Underworld.
Underworld.
I know that.
So if anybody else is underworld lore, you can also roll.
Woo!
Wow! Norbert, you're so good at this. Yeah, you guys have about the same amount of information, because Enda saw something that Norbert didn't, and Enda saw the black card, which, putting all sort of the pieces together, that's your statement of somebody who so clearly is wearing, I guess you could say, the uniform. You realize that both of these people are members of what's called the Black Company, BPP. Which is the closest thing to a thieves' guild, assassins' guild, smugglers, organized crime sort of thing.
Gotcha.
And like any good spy organization, most of their middle to upper men are described solely by letter. So you have the distinct feeling that this is not in fact K as in K-A-Y, but K as in simply the letter K.
Okay.
KK.
Not all. So you guys know that not all thieves and petty criminals are associated with the Black Company. Only those that sort of are attempting to mean something or be more than petty street criminals. But you also know that they crack down quite heavily on anybody abusing their name, and they are not to be trifled with. They can be quite dangerous when they need to be.
Okay.
That is his name.
So he's still walking towards the thief on the ground. Norbert, have you been pulled away from him yet?
No.
I don't want to like turn my attention, but I do kind of want to make it clear that like get him the fuck off of the guy.
Norbert,
Like
you're not very smart, are you?
Yeah, Wes is gonna try and pry Norbert off.
I'm gonna keep my focus on this guy. He's so he doesn't. Basically, he's going to address him and say, if you would not like to run afoul of the Delver Society, is it safe to assume you didn't intend to steal from us?
What we intended was a company secret, I'm afraid. But I am willing to cut you all a deal. You leave my associates to me. And with this, Norbert, you feel a cold sting on your throat. And who's trying to pry him off?
That's Wes.
Wes, you realize that Norbert now has a dagger pointed at his throat. And you did not realize or see him draw the dagger.
Norbert, look.
Is it like a floating dagger kind of thing going on?
No,
here?
he is holding the dagger.
Oh, so he just like fucking flash stepped my ass.
Well, he was getting closer and closer, but yes. The last 10 feet seemed to vanish in the blink of an eye. All of a sudden, he was pointing a dagger at your throat.
I'm pretty sure he's making a point.
I jump back, but I leave the mushroom in the thief's mouth.
Excellent. And with that, our business is concluded. You all can leave this place with your possession. We hope that we will see you again soon.
Endo will give a slight nod and sort of start
Oh,
backing away, him and his compatriots, and just
before Wes leaves, he gets a good look at the boy on the floor. Since
Oh, to, like,
his
try and,
was
like,
upstairs
mark it.
before. Well, yeah, to a degree. Just a glance, real quick.
see if
Okay,
there's anything to notice.
Trying to
I
think.
guess.
But yeah, Enda's just going for like a stone face, like, pleasure doing business with you. We'll be on our way. Sort of. Don't feel like getting eaten by dogs today.
And as you guys are sort of backing away, the dogs have slunk forward, and each one has grabbed one of the shoulders by the cloth of the thief on the ground and are sort of dragging him on his back towards the church. He doesn't appear to be fighting that much. He looks a little bit resigned.
Just like cross his arms, like, "God, stupid."
Make a perception check, whoever's trying to memorize his face.
Oof. It's too dark.
Yeah, and he's got sort of the hood over him, and he's got a bunch of dirt in his face, and so it's kind of hard to tell.
A lot of big dogs. Dragon.
He's not the world's most attractive teenager, but he's a teenage human.
Alright, I guess.
And so with sort of a flamboyant wave of his hand, Kay turns on his heel and starts following the dogs back inside the church.
Alright.
I'm gonna suggest that we go and find Baz.
Well, who's carrying the sack of star sand?
I am.
Alright, well, that's
Wait, you guys
kind
got
of
to keep
heavy to carry around, so you should probably deliver it to the sage. It doesn't seem reasonable just lug it around town.
Well, let's go and check on Baz on the way back to the alchemist shop. Because I want to, check on the
yeah.
alchemist.
That's fair.
As you guys leave and as the doors to the church slowly creak shut, you hear Kay's voice, and it is it feels like it's close to you, as though it's whispering in your ear. And it says, "Stop by if you ever have business for the company. We do love our contacts."
I'm guessing that was directed at Enda.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, for my knowledge of the Black Company, is this like a inter-regional operation, or is it just in this city?
It's definitely interregional. They operate all across the kingdoms.
Gotcha.
Think mafia.
Yep, gotcha.
And they have both sort of more public faces and less public faces.
Okay.
So you guys are heading back to where?
Back to where Baz got apprehended to see what's going on.
One person could go deliver the star sand if you don't need everyone. Seems more efficient.
Yes, split the party a third time.
Nah.
Alright, if that's Enda's decision.
Not a big fan of not having party members.
We're in a town.
Yeah.
You're so scared.
Yeah.
You guys almost just died in a town.
We can behave. Unlike a certain ruffian who attempted to run off with priceless fabric.
Can you please not judge my lifestyle choices?
Well, maybe I won't judge that, but I will judge how afraid you are of this town.
So is the whole party going to get Baz?
Oh yeah,
or-
doesn't Baz still kind of know what's going on though? Because I had his little cabbage on me.
You definitely felt so Baz as you were being lectured by the guard.
Suddenly you thought a cold chill.
Yes, you did feel a cold chill. As the cabbage, the whole time felt like it was being like one of the dogs was staring right at it. Like predators do when they've like fixated on prey.
That's just sitting on the sidewalk, just pisses himself.
I like how he's the cabbage. Not just cabbage, he's the cabbage.
He's a chew toy.
Knight, please, I'm begging you, stop.
Could I get a fortitude roll to see if this... No, don't actually roll that. Don't actually roll that.
This is rapidly turning into a fatal session, and I'd really like it not to go that way.
Alright. Okay.
And so Baz, having been thrown in prison for both theft and public urination.
What?
Could you roll your anal circumference just for
Why is that something you have to roll?
This is the most realistic
Is that
prison
random?
simulation yet.
I mean, if
Depending
you
on the
roll
phase
low,
of the
it's gonna
moon,
hurt.
actually, it is.
Oh no.
Oh man, my neck.
Oh, Baz's ass.
The phase of the moon isn't random either, though.
So, so in fact, So I'm gonna say the whole party goes to pick up Baz from the local guardhouse. And Baz, you managed to explain to the guards that you were not in fact a thief, but was just caught in some. How do you explain your antics?
Scooby-Doo chase.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say, look, that man in the black that called me a thief, he took something from the merchant Hawk, and we were just trying to get it back, and this was all a really unfortunate misunderstanding. And I'd like to turn to the shopkeeper, if he's still there. I'm just, be like, look, I am sorry that I destroyed your crates. I will help you, help pay it back.
Give another diplomacy check. So one of the guards sort of looks incensed at your attempt to paint the other as the thief, as the real thief. So there's two guards sort of interrogating him, and one of them looks sort of mad at this, and the other one sort of like pats him on the shoulder and turns him around, whispers in his ear, and the other one sort of storms off. And the one that seems much happier, clasps you on the shoulder, and you see a faint flash, as almost like a card trick, of another. Well, not this is the first time you've seen it, but it's a black business card in his hand, and then it's only there for a moment, and then it seems to slip back up his sleeve. And he says, "Well, I'm sure this was all just a unfortunate misunderstanding. I'll leave you here with the merchant to discuss any sort of reparation that you wish to provide to him." Taking a long drink over here for fortitude.
Oh man. Baz?
Well, Baz seems to be. He's
just
probably
gonna
going to
be
be
like-
missing for a little while longer.
I'm gonna be more confused than anything, but happy to it worked out and be like, yeah, appreciate you understand it.
And so the merchant, who was previously angry with you, has been sort of like staring at you with an appraising look in his eye this whole time that you've been interrogated by the guards. And as the guards are leaving, you see him sort of like moving his hands as though placing outfits on you. As the guards leave, he comes over and like grabs one of your large hands and small of his, and he's a gnome. He's a gnome. And he says, "You must be my model. I have fallen in love with your skin."
Well, I'm not good for much more than manual labor, but sure, if that'll make you happy and repay my debt, then might as well. Next chance I get some free time from the Delvers Guild, I will be right on over to help.
Sounds like the gnome's gonna have to roll a fortitude check now.
And you almost have to like slap his hands away from like brushing over your muscles. It is very disconcerting, and it is a gross violation of your personal space. But he gives you the address for his shop and says that the next time you're free, if you're interested in earning a little bit coin, that he has many jobs that could require your sort of skills and physique.
Cool.
And there is a fabulous eye raise at the use of manual labor.
Not cool.
Fabulous.
Sounds like next free time you get to be a drag queen.
Hey, at least I've got a job offer.
Norbert's gonna be like resorting to fucking crime in the downtime.
No.
I don't know if he's that productive. He might just go out and find some mushrooms to eat, honestly.
I'd probably still end up coming back with more money than us.
Not with how well he's been
this
rolling.
takes a little bit of time, actually. And by the time it's finished, the rest of the guys have been sort of standing outside the guardhouse for about 5 minutes. And the guard standing outside is not really like willing to let you guys in, unless you have like a reason to be standing around inside the guardhouse. So you're waiting. I assume you can be waiting around across the street, unless you have somewhere else you want.
How far are we from Hawk's shop?
Probably about like a 10-minute walk.
Well, then yeah, we just wait. Or at least
And eventually you sort of see in order a guard storm out and like stomp down the street in the direction of the nearest tavern. You see the shopkeep, a gnome, sort of like come out and he's positively skipping. And then you see Baz come out. And Baz, how are you feeling?
I don't want to talk about it.
That's exactly how Baz feels.
So, they just let you go?
Yeah. Yeah, they just let me go. Did you catch that guy in the black?
We did.
There was a bigger fish on the line, as it turned out.
Oh.
But we did get the sand back.
Oh, well, that's good at least.
Mm-hmm. The attack was apparently carried out by the Black Company, if you've heard of them.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Local, not so local, crime syndicate, as it were.
Bad guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that.
Not something we'd like to get involved with, I don't think.
That's something I plan on getting involved with then.
But we've got the package back. I suggest we head back over to Hawk's shop and make sure he's doing okay.
All right.
So you guys head back over to Hawk's shop, and as you open the door, you find Hawk again, sort of standing in trying to clean up the mess of his back room, which really doesn't look that much messier than the rest of his store, but he's doing his best. There is still a robe pinned to the wall, and you notice he's wearing a different robe.
He just slithered out of it.
He couldn't pry it out. I guess maybe we should have helped him.
We had important things to deal with.
I'm going to use this opportunity to take a piss break.
Okay.
He doesn't get to blame me.
Yeah,
because
Norbert's
that
being
not
left
there.
outside again.
Was that in character or out of character?
literally can't be trusted in this door because he'd probably eat half the shit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All these things floating in jars and just like glug glug glug.
For his own safety, he's being left outside.
So, sort of enter the shop and try to like gently catch his attention. Mm.
He jumps up with a fright, and he's like, "Oh, today has been terrible for my heart." But he sees the bag of sand under one of your arms, and he says, "Oh, praise be, you've got it."
Yes, we caught the thief.
Then I suggest that you very quickly get it back to the sage. Wouldn't want another one of those black company ruffians harassing me again. Are always asking for protection money and whatnot. They do it to all the larger shops in the area.
Is that
I
right?
suppose recent payments have not been sufficient for them to come so brazenly in the middle of the day like this.
Wes is upset to hear these things in his hometown that he's lived all of his life.
Welcome to the real world,
Yeah,
kid.
he didn't know this was going on all around him.
You've heard whispers of these things, but you never really treated them credibly until now.
Is
He never
the
saw them
boogeyman?
firsthand.
They tend not to muck with people directly affiliated with the college, like your father. But Hawk is not like a full college member, and so he's not like a full professor or full sage of the college, and
It's
so
like
he
he's
doesn't
still
really
in
have this
junior
protection
college.
that, like your father did.
All right. Well, if you don't need our assistance any further, we will head right on over.
Wes will quickly retort, or I guess, or say, I hope you're still doing okay, Hawk. He didn't hurt you, did he?
Oh, no, I'm quite fine. It was just a little bit of a scare. My shop, it seems, has seen better days, but, well, who can say when those days were?
Wes will suddenly remember something. The card, the business card. There was a business card that guy threw at you, wasn't there?
Hawk sort of fishes around in the pockets of his robe and pulls out the black card. And it is entirely jet black. There is no writing on it whatsoever. It is of the dimensions of a regular business card. It has the weight of a regular business card, and it appears to just be a piece of black paper.
Well, Wes knows that things can be more than they appear to be, and he says, "Would you mind if I had that? I think it might help investigating later."
Oh, yes, it's one of their damn calling cards. They leave it all the time. But if it pleases you, then of course you can take it. And he hands it
Thank
to
you. Wes will just nervously back off and return to the party site.
As we're leaving the shop, Enda will kind of pat Wes on the back and just say, "Careful with that card, kid. Keep it tucked away."
And Wes will nod silently.
Careful not to be too curious. And we will
Norbert
head...
Knight, or Norbert, could you roll another underworld check for me?
Dude, Norbert's just ones and
What's
20s.
an underworld? Oh no!
I don't know what isn't it.
It's a fucking card.
Well, Wes will investigate it
you
later.
know about the black company is hearsay, and you've never actually seen any of their dealings in person. Hawk says they leave it that all as their sort of their calling card, but what it means, besides being a really edgy piece of paper, who knows?
Well, on the way while we're walking back to Sage Ranavan, could I guess actually Wes would ask Baz to attempt to read its aura. in case it is magical.
All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at that card. I can stall for time to find my spell. Oof.
Well, that's okay, because I have to find the thing that I think was used, the spell that I'm thinking of. Nope, it's on the spell word. I thought there was a spell for that, but I guess not.
I think there is, but I'm not privy to your knowledge. But I remember seeing some like secret note type spells in the spell list.
Yeah, it's something like that. So we'll go say that it smells of transmutation.
So is that what Baz says to me?
That's what the feeling you get from it is.
So there's probably some trick to get it to transform and show what it really says. If transmutation is the strongest vibe.
Transmutation with hints of illusion.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to consider that as we head our way back.
To the sage.
To the sage. So you guys make your way back town to Sage Ranavan's atelier.
Oh my god. Fucking hipster.
Fucking ancient ass elf hipster.
Fucking hipster sages.
As you arrive, the sun is setting, and you walk up and knock on his door, and nobody answers.
Audible sigh.
Could I get a perception check from people?
Blech. Maybe he's on the toilet. Knock again.
Wes, who's busy picking his nose, doesn't notice it, but everyone else hears moaning from inside the house.
Is the door locked?
As though somebody's in pain.
I would like to try and open
Yeah,
the
is the
door.
door locked?
Nope, the door swings open with a touch.
I will,
You hear the moaning more clearly. It appears to be coming from upstairs.
I will follow the sound.
I guess we're all heading with him.
Follow the sound through a large pair of double doors into an ornate bedroom. And sort of sprawled out on the floor, like crashed against the bed, with this sort of like half on and half off. Is the elderly elf known as Sage Ranavan. And he is moaning in pain.
Can I attempt to discern what is wrong with him?
Sure, roll medicine.
Blech.
Luckily, whatever has stricken Sage Ranavan is not too outlandish. It is the curse called time. He also has a big fat bruise forming on his hip. He's wearing like a bathrobe. And as you sort of like try and, lightly touch him in places to try and figure out.
Sage, what happened to you?
Hey,
I fell!
I'm sorry, but I need like 10 minutes or something to take care of some stuff.
That's okay. We will take a 15-minute break.
That sounds like a good idea.
Everyone else consider an old man falling as an adventure problem.
Alright, BRB.
I guess when he heard the knock, he probably got excited for his delivery. Got too excited and fell down. BRB. Oh, hello, I am back.
Welcome back.
Is everyone else still gone?
I believe so.
I'm back.
Senge.
Nice stream text for those bots watching.
Yeah.
I guess anyone watching the bot, but you know, just if they're watching this part, that'd be silly.
Well, no, but if they're watching the VOD, then on the thumbnail bar pop-up
Yeah,
thing, they
yeah.
can just look for when the text disappears.
Yeah, because 15 minutes might not actually be 15 minutes. This is the spell I was thinking of, by the way. I probably should use the thing in here. That would have been a lot easier.
I can
In case
just
you have to know the name.
search it
Know
in
that.
here.
Oh yeah, and I was looking at sigil, so it's somewhere between.
Oh, no.
One's a cantrip and one's a 3rd level spell, you know. Just a 7 level gap.
I mean, they're like a criminal organization. They have 3rd level. They have 7th level wizards to cast that shit for them.
And then it's just sitting in factories, just churning out fucking business cards.
Why is that 3rd level?
This is why I aspired to be a high-ranked criminal wizard.
You could pick Fireball, or you could
That's
pick
a life
Secret
I
Mage.
dreamed of.
To be fair, who knows if they're doing it by their free will? Maybe they're being mind controlled by even higher level wizards.
Seems more likely.
The whole corporate structure is just wizards and then like a handful of rogues at the bottom.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Norbert sounds weird because he's a goblin, but in reality he just has a waifu voice. Yeah. Masaru. feel like there's 14 things I want to be doing right now, but I can't think of any of them.
How heavy is the bag of star sand?
How sore is my arm?
Yeah. How much of a workout did Emma get? I mean, even if he was, like, encumbered, just to stroll through town. Definitely gotta work out.
How jacked is my left arm now?
So I guess it's like 40 pounds of sand, but I'm looking at these things. They're like
Oh,
bought
man.
like a bag of sand, and it says filled between 44 to 55 pounds of sand, gravel, even nuts, and carry your umbrella safely from tipping over.
I don't think he was carrying that under his arm.
Star sands are
No.
fucking heavy.
Also, wow, that thief ran fast for this.
Maybe closer to 30 pounds then.
Okay, it's not full.
The weight is displaced forward into the future.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
So after you let go, it's still weighing you down.
Yes.
Sounds like
It's time sand, bitch.
that's such weight being displaced into the future is such a stupid niche thing. It sounds like a stand ability. I'm sure there's 30 ways you can think of to use it.
Well, I'm not a Rocky, so...
It feels weightless now, but tomorrow you're gonna really feel.
I think I read I read something where some guy's like magic power was to turn things into styrofoam, and so he would turn something into styrofoam like a concrete pillar, and then swing it, and then at the last minute turn it back into concrete.
Well, the laws of physics dictate that after it gets turned back into concrete, it would get heavier and just drop to the floor.
Yes, because momentum, but still.
I mean, you could still just swing it over top of somebody and then change it.
Yeah, like if you're like a bomber, like you could drop like a styrofoam ball on someone and then turn it into concrete and eviscerate somebody. But you know,
But this is high quality scientific, logic from Japan. So
similarly, if we were a bomber, like a bomber squad, I could just like grab a bag of holding full of all my grenades and just dump it all over the battlefield. Easy.
you gotta reach into the bag of holding. Yeah.
Oh,
Just
well,
since
it'd have to be a
Rennie's
normal
still
bag.
and for future combat reference, is there anything stopping me since I have 2 hatchets with 2 20-foot long ropes attached to each of them that I grab one end of each rope and start fucking helicoptering around?
That would be very
You would need a full
with a
diameter
full
radius.
full 20 feet of rope.
Yeah, you would need a 20-foot radius around you to do that. You would just get caught on something.
And it
wouldn't
would
hurt
only be
anyone.
deadly at the very edge.
Yeah, like,
If
You
that.
Imagine, unless you're in the middle of it
Or-
and it wraps around your neck and you're just stuck standing there like watching this axe like tetherball towards your face.
Yeah, this is like a deadly Scooby Doo.
I hate to delay even more, but I need a couple minutes to get on Final Fantasy and keep my house from being put up for sale.
That's
Nice.
fine. We're taking a break. We're good.
Because I am worried about someone actually going and selling all.
That sounds terrifying.
Bad
We're
things
good.
are happening right now.
You guys are
Someone
progressing through
Do what
content
you gotta do, my
at,
dude.
at a decent clip, and so I was a little bit worried that the session was going to have to end early because I'd be like, I'm out of shit to tell you about. So
You
this
guys
is
are
just me.
skipping all the side quests.
Well, no, because
Yeah,
like
no.
I'm trying to sort of keep it sort of like a little bit railroady at the beginning, just so that
Yeah.
we all learn together before we start go chasing rabbits.
you know, before we
Yeah.
dive into a dungeon.
Well,
and
especially if
step
there's
on
like
some bomb snares.
certain mechanics and scenarios and stuff that you want us to get accustomed to. then that's the way to go.
I mean, there was always the
promise
chance
you
that we tried to attack
at the
K.
end of our tutorial, there will be a big adventure hook, and then you guys will be cut loose to.
I don't know, dude. As soon as I get to the open world map, I usually get bored and stop playing. I'm just so bad at making decisions.
That's me in Path of Exile. Like whenever I get to maps, I'm just like snore.
Give me
It's all
a
about
dungeon.
refining your build at that point, getting better.
Yeah, but
gear.
I've like
I had played so much Path of Exile back in the day that the moment I picked my first skill gem, it's like,
Dude, it struck me like
It's
last
very
week
different now.
sometime. I'd completely forgotten about it, Yoji, that you and I did that like duo run on the like hardcore Iron Man mode.
yeah.
For Path of Exile,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went
people don't really play hardcore anymore because the game it's evolved in ways that make it really,
dumb.
really unpredictable if you're just gonna suddenly die.
Yeah, we were doing pretty well, but when we died, we just died.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's up here? Oh, I'm dead.
People.
Oh,
die
what
when
killed
they're
you? What's
killed.
that? Oh, I'm dead too. What happened? I still don't know.
Yeah, that's
I was
basically
like-
what happens, and that's why people
I
don't
don't.
play.
No, I don't
hardcore.
think it was desync. Like I think some shit just fucking happened.
No, the bear trap guy killed you.
Yeah, that's what it was. Oh god,
He does not there anymore. By the way, I
that
don't
makes
think
me
any
feel good
enemies
about
have bear
myself.
trap anymore. Instead, other shit'll just.
I mean,
one-shot you out of nowhere.
hardcore wasn't the most popular back then either. It's just the more people-
Hardcore has some things that are fun about it. Like in theory, it's really awesome, but the game just shits on you for thinking that it might be fun. And for a while, it's fun, and then it just takes all that away from you. Especially this league, where it's just performance problems. Like when you're at like 2 FPS, of course you're gonna fucking die. It's not in your control.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with performance problems these days. Borderlands 3 also has awful performance chugs, and I've got a 1070, so it's not like the most like hip.
Are you playing on PC?
Yeah,
Are you playing on Epic Games?
yeah.
That's why.
Also, it's not even necessarily like your computer's performance in Path of Exile. It's so bad that instant servers are lagging.
Oh yeah. I remember hearing on the first day, on the first couple of days of Blight, just every Blight map was just Crash Central.
Yeah. Apparently, they released like the big patch, and it's still awful. Like, you should not run Blight maps. Still.
Hey, was there any more news on that Project Barbecue thing?
Still going. I haven't heard anything.
I don't think there was supposed to be anything until like a little further into winter.
Oh, okay. Was that an E3 announcement?
I don't remember, but it's
I feel like it was something I heard about. around that
basically
time.
just 3D Dungeon Fighter with hack
Yeah.
and slash.
You know,
I
just
remember hearing
3D
about
DFO.
You mean Vindictus too?
Vindictus with barbecue, okay? It's important. What was that fucking bullshit shooting star combo we always did early game?
Instead of star into the sky, it was star out of the sky.
Yeah.
With the
Barbecue, and then you like.
ages ago, back before the relaunch, I had an Axe XO. I had a Pexo.
Well, the trick we're talking about is, like, after a barbecue, you would throw a buster grenade to launch them a little higher, and then you would use Gatling gun and aim up. And as it turns out, when you aim Gatling gun up, the projectiles also launch the target, but it's, like, impossible to hit with it, right? But it lines up perfectly, and then they just get hit by every bullet
Yeah.
and sail across the screen.
You
into
just
the
skybox
sky.
them into the other corner of the map. And then you have
That was great.
Exo guy waiting on the other side to star out of the sky to like tennis ball them back.
It was
Star
actually
in the
pretty
sky.
good damage.
Yeah,
what
it's
it
just
was.
like a stun lock too.
And you could, like, get a charge laser out of it. The only charge laser combo in the whole game.
We got real creative with that one. Why are
I think
you
you
like
should just
level
charge
100
laser.
and you still have Buster Grenade? Well, level 1 Buster.
I guess you can also just, like, level jack spike to launch higher and do it like that. So
Yeah.
you don't have to do the janky shit. It was really hard to do it with a buster because like targets don't all weigh the same. Like if you try to do it on someone with cloth armor, they just go into the sky and you miss the grenade.
Oh man, I never hated killing tentacle things more than I did in that game.
Oh,
About like the 6th time I had to play through that area, I was just so fucking done. And I was like, this is the worst area in the game. And then I get through it and be like, oh yeah, cultists. All right.
The cultists are fine. It's the octo things and the
Nah, the next
well,
the next
when you have to
area that
jump
has
off and
like
fight the goddamn blimps.
the boss type cultists and stuff are just.
Oh,
Those are like
they-
legitimately annoying. The blimps in that are just
They
tedious.
completely reorganized the shit again, so now it's like the octopus shit is like 50 to 60, I think.
Well, back then, those enemies were really annoying. But those were also the levels where you got your coolest skills.
Yes,
Yeah.
you moved Behemoth a lot earlier since the reworks.
Yeah, it was like every time they made a big patch, it was like, if you make a new character and do 2 quests, you can just get it. You're 5 levels in, and it's fine.
I had read apparently they have an event that like rotates out practically every month where you can just like go straight to 95 or 90, one or the other.
Sounds fun.
But that's what happens when they keep adding classes, but they don't actually make it easier to level. They just
You
let
gotta,
you level.
you gotta take money to make money. I can't believe. Let me like look this up actually.
Alright, right. Let's go.
What?
Come on, let's go.
Where are we going? No, I don't think so.
We don't know how long Rena's gonna be gone.
Can you believe that? Well,
I am
Hello?
sorry for
For
His static is probably having some more drama.
yeah, we can chill for a little bit if you guys want to chill. I'm gonna try and I think if we play it right, we can pace it, and so we end right after a combat. And that can just
Wait.
be the session, and then next session.
He didn't fall. A combat. What is this?
We'll
Spoilers.
see. This is the second part where he undresses his rogue and wizard hat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And then he's a tentacle monster underneath and we
He
gotta fight
takes
him.
them off very slow.
We nominally still have 2 more hours of session, guys. So, of which I expect that only one of which will be combat. So, or something like that. So I mean, we got time. I don't know how the pacing of Dungeons and Dragons is something that is super odd, because so like for example, if you look at sort of the game mastering section and look at like how much experience I should be handing out.
Who cares
So,
about experience?
like,
You're just doing
the-
milestones, right?
Yeah, I like milestone level because it gives me more narrative control. It lets me do things, but I don't feel like I have to like.
Yeah, you don't have to like measure. Okay, how much was this?
yeah, the
thief
idea
chase
of
worth?
balancing yourself, how much experience people get—that's dumb.
Like there are some pretty good rules for second edition. That's pretty. They're very helpful, but like, it's just a pain in the ass. Just use milestone. Just level people how you want them to be leveled.
Mm-hmm.
But like that first encounter was apparently by the books are getting worth 100 EXP, and it takes 1,000 EXP to get you guys level.
Well, you also get experience from defeating any challenges, like
yes,
like repairing the cart, or finding what happened to the expedition, or catching the thief.
Was there a
Eating
scenario
mushrooms.
where when they jumped up on the roof, they slipped and fell off the roof?
So behind the screen, I was not rolling for this action. We
just needed a certain amount of successes before
Yes.
the end.
I don't know. Maybe we should use experience, because imagine the time when you fix the wheel on a cart and you snap it into place and you're like, oh, I just learned a new spell.
I suddenly know how to make moderate mutagen.
I corked that motherfucker's mouth with a mushroom. Leveled up.
Secret level.
Yeah. But I personally think it's a pain in the butt to sort of like, track experience down to minutia and so on.
Yeah, I can't imagine what you would have to be like to
Like if
prefer
you
that.
were in like an official format or something, like
Yeah.
you'd have to do
And,
something like that. But
Part of Pathfinder 2's like big thrust was making organized play for Pathfinder Society more reasonable for both players and GMs.
but in
But
like
for
a home setting,
for a
like
personal table like this one, it's just like, I'm gonna say you guys level up when you defeat major bosses, when you sort of accomplish key objectives and stuff like that.
when you want us to fight level 2 challenges.
Yeah. And so I expect sometime, depending on pacing, probably in the middle of next session or towards the end of next session, that you guys will hit level 2.
In the middle
So
of the
if
session
over
would
the course
probably
of this
be a bit
week,
rough.
between sessions, you guys want to start considering what you want for your level 2 whatevers, then now that would be a good time to think about it.
I've already considered those,
Also,
but I
I know
doubt
where-
the others would.
I know where the break came from.
More what came from?
What?
Where the break came from.
Oh no.
Oh,
Why do you have this gift? Why do you have this on hand? And for that matter, like, why do you remember this?
It's okay.
Because Krillin is the closest thing we're gonna have to a goblin.
Also, brother is saying that he'll be joining us in about a half hour. So, in the meantime, if you guys would like, we can. It's just like a fucking like a collection of brick. If you guys would like, we can continue with some sort of low tension stuff, and we'll catch him up later, or we can take a half-hour break for everyone to have snacks or eat or ponder the universe.
do any of you have like any conversations you want to have between the characters? Just like, while we're traveling. Let's say this happened while we were traveling around the town.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Like if there was any like subjects you wanted to bring up. Although I can't think of anything.
Not now that you have the chance.
Not on my yeah.
You need to start making
I
like a
can't summon up the courage to
note list.
talk to people.
Yeah. It's just like really.
Well, what you could do is you can let's have a little timey-wimey bullshit adventure and say that after you guys deal with whatever the hell you were doing at the Sage's house, you guys are investigating the properties of the black card.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and let's say Baz just is predisposed for some reason. That's why Rin is not here.
He just wants some
He's
rest
correct.
after his little.
Yeah, he's around and you have his magical capabilities on hand, and but he is still traumatized from the day's events. As your willing puppet.
Well, the problem is the meta knowledge, because I know it's a 3rd level spell now, but I don't think we can really identify that at this level.
I am not a magic person.
Well, I'm gonna obfuscate your your meta knowledge and say that a lot of times I will have magical items that have no key correspondence to spells in the book, and this is one of them.
Well, that helped.
Dope.
Well, you guys already super failed your underworld checks to identify it.
True.
But perhaps new insight regarding that it is a magical in nature might jog your knowledge that maybe there's some sort of secret technique to get it to show what you want it to.
Well, you could perhaps probe its magical properties, perhaps with an occult roll.
Well, suppose if he was examining the thing the whole time.
Probe it.
Nobody has any idea what this thing is.
This thing is high-level magics. We just get super distracted every time we try to think anything about it.
Those guys creep me out.
And no, out of character, it is not enchanted with the same shit as Kay's hood.
Can I stealth roll so the card can't tell that I'm looking at it?
Alright, roll it.
It is not by any magical means that you're simply distracted
Are
by
you saying we're just stupid?
shit. But I will tell you that despite that singularly terrible results, I will throw you a sake of advancing thing. That while I'm gonna kind of bullshit some setting stuff because I like to bullshit shit about magic. Actually, how about you talk to somebody at the fucking? Hey, that's a good idea for you all.
What?
You have magical
First of all-
items. You have ins at the college. Maybe go find somebody to talk to.
Well, we have other things to do, but that's.
Well, this is timey-wimey bullshit. So you'll do this
I want to
eventually.
ask.
Yeah. Assume
I
this
want to ask
is
like Enda and Norbert if they've ever heard of anything like underworld secret like notes. Like how would you?
Only time I can
Sure,
say
roll those
I've
underworld checks.
come across it is with the Black Company.
So, Enda, you know that there is this thing called Thieves' Cant, which is a combination of sort of like almost like jive. It's there's a word for it. It's like a I forget what it is, but it's
Cipher?
It's, no, not quite a cipher, but sort of like a slang almost, where you use words that there's a sort of an underworld association with things, almost like calling people Johns, instead of pimp.
Yeah. I got you.
It's sign language. It's markings on walls that mean don't go here, cops are here, etc., etc.
Is that like? Is that undercommon? Is that what that's like?
It's called
the
Thieves'
language in this game?
Undercommon, I think, is the language spoken in the Underdark.
Oh, I thought it was just for.
Yes, Undercommon is for natives to the Underdark.
Oh, is that a place that exists in this setting?
Nope,
All right, well.
not in
language
any
doesn't
organized
exist.
context. I hate the Underdark because fuck caves. Alternatively, it existed and then flooded with mist and everyone died. Or turned into raging tentacle beasts.
Who knows? We're not
Sounds
going
like
there.
a good dungeon. You never know. Maybe we'll need to get some tentacle asses to fuel some ritual.
Okay.
Ah, yes, the wild void ass.
So, is there anything on the card that I recognize about
There is, in fact,
Cant?
nothing on the card.
There's nothing.
Well, the question was, did you know how they obfuscate their credentials besides?
So
Thieves'
this
Cant?
is just like I know of Thieves' Cant, not that I'm like fluent or privy to most
Yeah,
of it.
you might be able to recognize a couple signs, but you're not fluent in it.
Right.
And through your trip through the back alleys when you were chasing this thief, you did actually see it on some corners and stuff. You know,
Right,
scribbles
yeah.
and chalk and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that
I
are-
imagine pretty common in that sort of area.
Yeah, to the untrained eye look like scribbles or
Yeah.
graffiti. You know that there is a meaning.
It's like
associated
hobo
with it.
markings almost.
And you know that the majority of the time, sort of mundane things are, you know, written or transmitted in Thieves' Cant when they're
Uh-huh.
written down at all. People like their messengers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know my fair share of how the underworld operates, but these cards I'm not privy to. I don't know that I've heard of anyone solving their secrets. Do you perhaps have any contacts at the college that could maybe...
Not me, but my father would, but he is not available. But maybe we could ask around there anyway, if we find time.
I think that would
Or
be...
you could also, you know, you could go to the Delver Society. They might know something about the Black Company. Or you could search around your goblin contacts. The goblins tend to keep to themselves. They keep their own sort of smaller crime networks and not necessarily associated with the Black Company. But business rivals are business rivals.
We should ask the goblins.
I think Norbert should try to hunt out some goblins. Maybe. I don't think.
Maybe we should. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it's a better idea to leave it alone.
I don't have to necessarily hunt one down. I can just.
Well, yeah,
summon-
just like if you just like stroll through town and try to, you know, get some info inconspicuously.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea to take that approach to getting information, but it just seems
Norbert,
like
what
the
kind
wrong
of,
pie
what
to
kind of
stick a
goblin
finger
are you? You're like a razor-tooth goblin, I think?
in. He is.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
What kind of goblins live in this town?
Just a big fat mix. Whoever makes their way.
So, would there be like any sort of like is the facets of the college accessible to like common people like that? I could like stroll in and like go to the service desk and be like, hey, not that I would with this particular item, but just out of curiosity. Like, not that it would be formal, but like that I could like stroll in on a professor and like
Undress his robe.
Indiana Jones it.
There are some that are more sort of public facing that have workshops and sort of stores, and there are others who are more reclusive. So
Fair enough.
whether or not you know of one who sort of, you know, has apprentices or walk-ins that are sort of, you know, taking care of people off the street like that, that depends on the results of your lore.
Is there like a library around here? I mean,
There's a
in Wes's
library.
background. There is one in his
Society.
home. Oh, at the society?
Yeah.
We could potentially go there.
I
Just read some books.
think that would be the best bet. Maybe try to talk to some contacts of mine there.
Yeah, while we're like dropping by to like, I guess, claim our pay
Society
since
up.
we did the job. We could check the library, maybe see if there's any books on Thieves' Cant or related obfuscation.
Or if we pass by any goblins.
I mean, Norbert can just go do that on his own. We don't have to be glued together.
True.
Well, I doubt he'd really want to be in a library anyway. I doubt anyone else would want him to be involved either.
I think that's probably the more important one.
Yeah.
Norbert would have lots of fun in the library.
Paper tastes good.
Norbert is going to go look for goblins to question, since even if he went in the library, he'd probably just throw the books everywhere.
Okay, who's holding onto the card?
Wes has it
Yeah,
right
Wes
now.
has it.
Although I honestly feel more comfortable Enda having it, but I don't think there's a reason for it to be handed off, really.
I mean,
Didn't really come up.
if you would prefer to in character, like, Endo would take it, but he's not trying. He's not
Like-
urging you to give it to him or anything.
Yeah, like, I don't think that has come up, since, like, they're together still, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter who has it.
We're not really
I,
thinking
I,
about it.
I only ask because if you're splitting it and somebody wants to show it to somebody,
Yeah.
that becomes...
Yeah, Norbert wouldn't have it then.
Okay.
I do want to like
So Norbert-
try and make clear to Norbert, like, keep it this on the DL. You know, like, we're not trying to. We don't want the company to know that we're poking around, if possible.
So Norbert, roll your goblin connection lore.
Well, you are loosely connected.
You find goblins. So you actually sort of wander back to where you were earlier today, and you find goblins. And as you're attempting to sort of explain what the heck you found, all they look at you with is confusion. They simply are not picking up what you're putting down. And if they've heard of it, that's not coming across to you.
Doubt they would want to talk about it.
And so you
either.
spend several hours sort of interrogating goblins, and you end up slinking back to the Delver Society without much success.
No.
Okay. Well, in the
Yikes.
meantime, I guess the rest of us would have been.
Oh,
reading-
actually, Norbert, could you roll a reflex save?
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Okay. One of the goblins was drunk or on drugs and attempted to bite you, but you bit it back. Or fought it off however you please.
Just blocked his bite with a mushroom and bit him instead.
Goblin justice.
Anybody who else saw it was
Now I
not-
have 3 sticks, 2 rocks, and an ear.
I'm just gonna sneak around the outside of the library and yell out to the party. "Urgh. Trying to sneak around, but I'm full of mushrooms, and the clap of my savory Bavarians is alerting all the guards."
And
Well, in those
Well-
hours that Norbert was gone, what happened?
So there is sort of like a librarian, a middle-aged woman, and you can ask her for help, or you can comb the shelves yourself.
Well, Norbert would hit the books immediately because he probably understands a thing or two about books. But I imagine he didn't
Norbert is
actually
going to
ask
hit
it.
the books. He's gonna hit the books with
I
his
said the
face.
wrong name.
I wasn't sure if you
Sorry.
said it wrong on purpose or if you were actually just like, well, you know Norbert.
Loves those books.
You know, he's intelligent, but he lacks wisdom.
He also can't be in two places at the same time. So
Enda's going to sort of stray from the library. He's looking to sort of report in with a higher up and get a read on the situation.
Okay, I need to generate a name. I forgot to name the guildmaster. Or anybody who you could be reporting to.
Guildmaster Captain Guy.
Quick, what race is the guildmaster?
Dwarf.
He is not an orc.
half dwarf.
Dwarf?
Oh, okay, he's a dwarf. I was like an orc.
He's an orc and a bard! He's...
There we go. So you report to the cleverly named Guildmaster Hammermaw.
Hammer what?
The guildmaster is named
Drad. Okay, Drad Hammer Maul. Oh man.
I just imagine you walk up and he's like, "Saw, dude."
Have we talked to him before?
Does he have a son whose name is like Club Bludgeon?
Hammermall is his family name.
Yeah, Club Bludgeon Hammer Maul.
His son's name is Fist Hammermall. And he has a daughter named Dagger Hammermall, okay?
That's alright, that's okay. They're a great family, honestly.
Enda has met all three of them on various
I go over for dinner occasionally. I don't know why. I don't know why the Guildmaster cares so much.
The guildmaster sort of like took you in, like, you know, you were.
Yeah, I mean that's
They
fair.
found you like in the mist, and you have no home and family, and so really, Drad is like the father that you wish you had, except it really frustrates you that Drad Hammermall uses an axe. And you've never, whenever you see him with like an axe at his hip, you're like overcome by a faint discomfort.
Listen, if you dull the axe, it's just a hammer.
The weirdest shaped
He did
hammerhead.
explain that to you drunken one night at a bar when you were new in town. He took you out and he got very, very, very drunk. And he waxed for a long time about the true nature and philosophy of hammers versus axes. And you came away from that conversation concluding correctly that axes are just really narrow hammers.
Alright.
Alternatively, that hammers are wide axes, so they're the same thing. Anyways, so you go into Drad Hammermall's office, and how much do you report on the day's events?
Everything. Well, I don't know what happened to Ranavan yet, but the important stuff, the stuff that happened in town, namely like that we delivered our Stardust, we bricked some
important.
dude from the Black Company, and I would like to inquire as to if there's some sort of bad blood between the two associations or something I should be aware of.
And as you mentioned the Black Company, you actually you feel a gust of wind, and you hear a thunk from the wooden door behind you, and you sort of turn slowly to see Drad's axe having buried itself in the wood. You hear yelling from his secretary outside, angry. But Drad's face is entirely stone cold and serious. I'm not gonna do bullshit. I'm not gonna do bullshit dwarven accent. Sorry, I don't do funny voices. I'm a terrible DM. But he says, "Stay away from the Black Company, good. Delver Society members are forbidden from associating with them, on pain of death. At their hands,
Oh
unfortunately."
no, someone died.
No, brother. And he says, Drad explains, once you, I forget what the middle rank is. Delver Initiative. Once you reach Delver Inquisitor, I have no doubt the company will visit you, force you to sign a blood contract, prohibiting your involvement in their business. They have more power than we would like to admit. Stay away from them, for your own good.
So, wait. Is this Delver Society some sort of religion? Why do we have Inquisitors?
Because you're inquisiting into the depths.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a religious inquisition, it's a historic.
Gotta make sure history's correct.
Yeah.
You gotta find out
Ask
what
those
history
history
is, more like.
Are you sure you're really on our side?
I mean, at this point, our history books are just like... Picture the gif of guy with question marks popping up all around him.
It's just a bunch of shitty clip art. That's what's in your history books.
Exactly.
Shit.
In fact, some of them are just screenshots of Microsoft Word, complete with Clippy in them.
Are there better books than these?
Alright. Yeah, this is just exactly what Wes is reading in the library right now.
Where's the exit to the children's section? All of these books are just pictures.
Can I get a survival check from Wes?
He's lost in the library.
In the library. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Okay.
Apparently not.
Wes finds his way out of the children's section. Congratulations.
Good job. Anyway, Enda will turn and sort of pry the axe out of the hammer out of the door, and walk over and just hand it back to Drad, and give him a curt nod and just understood. Black Company will be left alone. Thank you for the warning, friend.
And as you walk out, he says, "Stop. He didn't give you any of their damn cards, did they?
They did, in fact.
Give it here."
I don't actually have it on me. I'll have to...
Getting out of your sight was a mistake, boy.
Is there something I should know about these cards?
It is dangerous, but everything associated with them damn assholes is dangerous.
What should I do with it then?
Do your best not to bleed on it. The less you know about them, the better.
Noted.
If you can, hand it into the guild and we'll dispose of it properly.
Alright, as you wish. Is there anything else needed from me at this time?
Keep up the good work. Sage is an important client of the society. Finances several of our expeditions.
Thank you. Contact me if you have any more work.
Always will, kid.
Finger guns. Walk out the door.
He finger guns you right back. He's an avid fan of finger guns.
Those finger crossbows are just...
Alright.
I'm gonna check in with Wes at the library.
What did Wes read in the meantime?
Uh,
I guess he would have been looking for relevant books.
Berenstein Bears.
yeah. Gee, I don't know. Yeah,
Is this D&D the Berenstain or Berenstein?
Roll what?
roll your occultism again.
But don't suck this time.
Don't get a paper cut.
Or do.
You know that occult magic, while is typically activated by sort of like song and dance or performance, as exemplified by bards. You know that in general, when it comes to permanent occult artifacts, they tend to be, aside from those of obvious bardic nature, they tend to be more associated with things of like personal nature, blood, hair, hex, voodoo-y shit. Whereas arcane magical items are much more programming command word oriented.
Well, I guess he now knows that.
Does he do it?
Well, you
right
knew
now?
that.
And
then
it shows
you
up.
book about occult magical artifacts. You recalled that knowledge more clearly. And yes, this card, you know that it is occultism. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well,
He rubs it on his hair.
he's not going to immediately do anything with it. He's going to talk to Enda about it first.
Dope. Enter Enda.
Oh,
Enda
hi.
enters.
Hey, kid.
You see Wes with his nose deep in a book. Huh? What? Oh,
How goes the research?
seems like there's probably some way to unveil the card's secrets with some sort of more personal methods, like physically personal, like blood or their. And Wes will look at Enda and see that he probably already sees where this is going.
Well, you're a smart one. Hand over the card.
Wes will consider briefly. Here, he digs it out of his pockets. It's a little bit crumpled because he was a little bit careless.
And will sort of hold the card in his hand, turn it over, sort of ponder. It sighs kind of deeply and hands it back to Wes. I'll tell you now, the Guildmaster is no fan of this black company business.
I don't think we really have any reason to go after them now, do we?
I'm in agreement. I think it's best for us to leave it alone.
It's only... It might be helpful to know more about them, but I don't think we should meddle with them.
Agreed again. I've no desire to draw the ire of the Black Company, or the Delver Society in particular.
Did the Guildmaster tell you anything?
Nothing of great importance. But the Black Company is large and powerful, and is not our business. The Guildmasters requested that we hand in the card. I'll leave that to you. They'll dispose of it. It does
Right.
sound as though the message would be decrypted with some sort of blood interaction, but it slightly intimidates me more that the Guildmaster knows that.
There's a history between them then.
So it seems.
I think... Well, I personally really don't want to get involved, and... Yeah, let's go turn the card in.
A wise decision, I believe.
Okay, you head back down to the front desk and you say that you have a magical thing that needs to be disposed of, and this is not an unusual occurrence on a town of mages and a town of adventurers. And they take it off your hands.
Nice.
And you notice that they make sure that it's sealed in a large container, similar to the one that the gem was in, the Eye of Tyndallus. Just sort of general purpose containment device.
Fair enough. Oh, excuse me.
Leaves the question, though. Why are they just throwing these things around? If they don't want to be meddled with, then why would they just leave calling cards everywhere?
Well, a successful businessman is always looking for more business. I imagine they don't like the idea of any commoner straying their way, searching for dastardly deeds to be done. Their clientele is probably slightly more privy to the code of conduct in the underworld.
It just seems like, why would he leave a card for just an alchemist shop? I guess it's not really my business, but
Yeah, Enda will sort of clap his arm around Wes's shoulder and walk him away, and just sort of shake his head and say, "It's best not to get too interested, boy. The less you know, the better in these sorts of situations."
it's just, I don't want to see good people like Hawk get hurt. It just doesn't seem right.
We do what we can when we can. It's best not to seek out things that are above your capabilities.
We'll think on that.
What's Norbert up to?
Norbert has been straying around the outside of the Adventure Society, being suspicious and like twerking as he walks. He clap his ass cheeks together in accordance with whatever strange desire has.
Clap at his cheeks. I hope nobody hears me.
Several other Delvers have given you the strangest of looks, and then finally one attempts to intervene. He comes out with a net. And looks strangely practiced at netting goblins. What do you do?
Take one of my stones out of my pocket and throw it at him.
Surely this is not the time for diplomacy.
Okay, could you just roll an attack?
Yeah, roll your thrown hatchet.
Don't worry, you're not actually throwing the hatchet right now.
Yeah, just
So you chuck a stone at him, and it clangs off his. He looks to be sort of like a fighter-esque type. And it clangs off his breastplate, and he looks down at you. He looks at his chest plate, and he looks back at you. He's like, "What are you doing? What the fuck is up with this goblin?" And he chucks the net at you. Could you roll a reflex save? Just narrowly, you tumble out of the way of the net as it goes sailing past you. You are unnetted. The fighter is looking increasingly annoyed. The initiative is yours.
oh, no.
You have a badge, you know.
Oh.
Does he know though?
Yeah, I'm not sure he does. Maybe he'll remember.
There are more important actions to be taken.
Okay, do we hear
I
this
tell the
scuffle
guard-
going on?
There's a lot of traffic in and out of the building, and so like the ground floor of the adventure, the Delver Society is a pretty busy gathering space. So you don't really hear him from outside.
Well, okay.
I
clang
tell
of
the
the
guard to take one of the twigs in my back pocket and stuff it and throw the twig at him.
Wait, say again. Sorry.
I tell the guard to I take a twig out of my backpack and throw it at him and tell him to stuff it.
Then roll another attack.
Twig attack.
The guard effortlessly steps out of the way of your twig.
What he even bother dodging it?
And deciding he's had enough of your shit, Bull rushes you in an attempt to grab you and take you to justice. Can I get a fortitude save? Unfortunately, your attempts to withstand the bull rush are not nearly as good as your attempts to dodge the net. And the fighter's burly arms wrap around you, and he lifts you off the ground in a bear hug. And he attempts to sort of sling you over their shoulder, like almost like a fireman carry, and drag you inside. He guesses that if you're hanging around the Delver Society, you're some sort of idiot Delver goblin, and so the front desk will probably know what to do with you. You are free to protest. As you back to it.
I tell him if he doesn't put me right down, he's gonna get it.
Roll intimidation. And he's like, oh no, a scary goblin. Oh, what are you gonna do to me? Shit in my boots?
He wouldn't like that.
And
He's
yes,
like-
he probably would.
He's like, wait a second. Don't you fucking dare shit in my boots, you dirty little...
Just covers up his name tag.
You're awfully close to the door.
Oh no,
Everyone will
progress.
see you being carried, you know, like a child inside by this guard. You have your last chance to escape shame.
I guess you could just roll to escape grapple.
If you want. But he could also just be a crying baby carried in.
The baby.
Can I rage and punch him in the face?
No, please.
Yes, you may rage and punch him in the face. Roll your attack.
Oh. Well, agile,
1d4 plus... Let's see.
agile weapons only give half the bonus of rage damage bonus. And unarmed is agile.
So what's the rage bonus? 3?
I think it's plus 6 normally, so yeah, 3.
6, yeah.
Well, you slam your fist in his face for 8 damage.
Oh no.
Hang on 1 second. Which is it's a pretty hardy blow.
That's a solid hit.
For a 1.
That might be more damage than Rainu did the whole last fight.
That's true.
That plus 6 is it's a hardy damage.
Yep.
But he drops you with a shout of pain, and you realize that you've actually managed to break his nose. That blow, and he's clutching it as blood is pouring down his face. When you hear from above you, a window open and an axe lands biting several inches into the dirt between the two of you. You hear from the second story a loud, commanding voice. Could I get a will saving throw? So the voice shakes you to your core, but you manage to not, embarrass yourself by being too paralyzed with fear. And you recognize the voice. You've seen it and heard it in passing, and this is, as I'm sure the rest of you have realized, the voice of Guildmaster Drad Hammermaw. And his narrow hammer has struck the earth in front of you. The fighter looks pissed, but is also cowed by the voice. And perhaps there's a glint of respect in his eyes. He sees that you've held your will against Drad's war shout. Drad has told you two idiots to break the fuck up and stop making out in front of the guild.
And then he pulls his hammer back up because he's got 20 feet of rope attached.
With the people in this town.
No, you see, Drad's not a pussy who pulls his hammers back towards him. Drad goes one direction, and that's full. So he jumps out of the window and just slams into the earth, and you just see like a dwarf in male armor. You know, he sits around his desk doing paperwork in armor because
Yeah,
he's
sure,
man.
that's comfortable.
Yeah, sounds like a dwarf.
He's not encumbered by he doesn't get a speed penalty. So
Very
I'm
true.
going to assume that he doesn't get it. You know, he doesn't suffer at all. Is that's right of dwarves in this one, right?
They don't get a speed penalty, but they still like can't get proper rest in armor.
Well, he's manly enough to do it.
He'll rest when he's dead.
Indeed. And just sort of, he just lands like a meaty armored comet. Even though it was only 2 stories that he fell. Picks up his axe, gives both of you the death glare, and saunters back inside. Also, you hear the shrieking of his secretary, who saw him jump out the window.
Through the hole in his door.
Yes.
In response to him as he's walking off, I kind of mutter "asshole" in his native tongue.
Roll either intimidate or diplomacy, your choice.
Wait, did you say intimidation?
Or diplomacy, your choice.
But you were...
How is that diplomatic? What would be the good result?
Him taking it as a joke and not as anything else.
Well, he doesn't even know he's talking about him, though. His back is turned. He could be talking about
He said it
him.
in Dwarven!
Oh. Well, that doesn't mean anything. He still could be talking to anyone else.
As Drad walks in, you see him stop, reach down, take off his boot, and chucks it at your head, Norbert. With freakish, unerring accuracy, you take 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh no!
I'm thinking
he has
of
a chance to
No, don't say it! Don't.
Piece of shit.
I'm sort of stumbling there, but I pick his boot up and shit in it.
God damn it!
Spontaneous shit. That's totally something you can do.
Why do I fucking play with you guys?
This is Norbert, and I'm not doing this.
Okay, are we just gonna agree to never send Norbert off alone to do anything?
I think that's fair.
Drad gives you a look that's like halfway between like confusion, respect, and rage.
It's just gonna like turn into like the most fucked up like.
He just sort of hobbles into the guild, into the society building without any further comment. that awkward gait that you have when you have one shoe on, that's what's going on right now. As you are left pants down over a boot that now has your shit in it. It's a nice boot though.
I can say
It
let's
was a nice boot.
pro.
Also, the fighter has just been struck dumb by this.
I was gonna say I don't think that guy's ever gonna fuck with you again.
And the other fighter just pulls a 180 and just is like, I'm fine at the fucking tavern tonight. I need to forget.
So, I'm assuming, as Wes and I are looking for Norbert, we would see Drad sort of hobbling back in with one boot.
So you see the door open, you see Drad walking through the door, turn around and throw his boot outside, and then as you're looking to see what the fuck is going on, you see Norbert crouched over a boot that suspiciously matches the one on Drad's other foot. Also, Norbert's pants are down.
Might as well turn right around and go back into the library.
And is just gonna kind of like stare, just like look at Drad, look at his foot, look back at the stairs behind him, because I just came from his office on the 2nd story, and just sort of slump, defeated, terrified.
Yeah, that's how I feel about right now. Riveting tale of fantasy adventure. I'm shitting in boots, man.
Well, there was our combat. Oh,
It's so funny because before I even did it, Knight knew.
I knew.
Everyone saw it coming.
I didn't.
Yeah, the guy who decided to throw a boot didn't see it coming.
The idea the fighter said.
The fighter was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Shit in my boots?"
Norman's like, oh, that's a good idea. I should use that one.
Got a nice load to dump right now, even.
I mean, if you think about it, when's the last time our characters shit?
Well,
You
I
track
guess you
your
were
own
the-
shit.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go ask Norbert what the fuck just happened.
That guard looked at me weird.
Which guard?
The one with a dent in his helmet.
Are you assaulting other society members, Norbert?
I wouldn't call it an assault. I'm just making sure his boots stay warm.
Assaulting the society's noses.
Norbert, I have two questions. Who started the fight?
The guy
Why
with
would you ask a child that?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said the guy with the net.
And, who ended the fight?
The guy with the hammer. Oh wait, shit! It's an axe.
I
Nope,
was
it's a
beginning to
hammer.
worry. Fucking
Well-
N has been brainwashed by the guild master.
So, a guild member picked a fight with you. You bloodied the man and forced the guild master to step in.
Yep.
Well, at least you ended your own fight. Let's go get a beer.
Yeah. What you witnessed was not terribly unusual. Though they are.
Yeah,
they
this
seem to be
is-
a rough and tumble group.
Yeah, that's... Its main priorities. Finish your fights. Win your fights. Playground rules.
Killing each other is against the rules, but if you start shit you can't finish, well, that's on your own head.
Yep, that's pretty much my philosophy at the moment.
But if you gotta take a shit, well,
Better find a pair of boots.
So... that happened.
Indeed. So it has been an hour, I think, since Broski left.
Uh-huh.
Do we want to continue with story things? Do we want to end it here?
since we're running out of time, we should probably just proceed.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Has
So-
Renu
so
said
we
anything
will-
about, like, if he thinks stuff's gonna be over or not?
So I had asked. He said that he was occupied, and he said about a half hour would be nice. And he said sorry, it's real bad. But
Gotcha.
I feel like even if he did become free, he probably wouldn't be in as much of a mood to play anymore.
yeah, that's understandable.
likely, yeah.
These things happen. So I'll leave it to you guys whether you want to continue him or
Well,
you can continue the pace.
if we finish talking to Sage Ranavan, are we gonna start fighting a tentacle monster? What, like, can we do that at least?
Do you mean you want to fight, or do you mean you would want to resolve that Ranavan
I would say
situation?
that, like, could we like get through that conversation real quick?
Oh, like, is that possible?
Yes. No, that talking with Sage Ranavan will not immediately start a fight.
Okay.
So we will timey-wimey bullshit, and this will be sometime in the coming days. This conversation that you just had with the fucking shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think that was like after we came home from.
Yeah. So you're in Sage Renovan, and you enter ornate bedroom, and you find him collapsed on the ground, and he seems to have fallen.
Well, Wes has already like ran up to him and checked in on him, and he had just told him.
He
that
said,
he
"I fell."
Help! I've
That's what we're
fallen and I can't get up.
Yes, pretty much literally that is what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
He moans, from the pain of his hip, and he says, "Blast my ailing legs!
Are you
Well,
okay, Sage?
You don't understand what it is to have your body fail you.
I
Your mind's trapped inside.
That's
Curse
a
Sage.
nasty
Curse
bruise.
time.
Do you, would you want to try one of my healing elixirs?
I have my medicine. It's in the cabinet across the room.
Oh, okay.
Fetch it for me, please."
Wes looks for the cabinet and goes over there and opens it.
And inside the cabinet is a very well labeled collection of medicine. It would be completely arcane to anyone except for an alchemist, but luckily you are an alchemist. And you see on the shelf several medicines, including a painkiller.
All right, grab a dose of that and head back over.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, look at Mr. Fancy
I
Pants
keep
here
hearing-
knowing
I
his
keep hearing
doses.
somebody's Discord, but it's not mine. And
It's
I'm pretty
my
sure
bad.
it's Yoji's.
So he eagerly drinks down the medicine, which is in a powder that you mix into a glass of water that he had by his bedside. And it takes him a little bit, but he seems to be feeling a lot better, and he's sitting on the bed, addressing you all. He says, "Thank you.
And
I have you to take care of me at my age. Luckily, my health is typically for the better, but I find that time creeps up on us all. I must complete my research before it claims me."
about that, we have your star sand, your temporarily aspected star sand, as he points
Yes.
to the bag that Enda is hauling around.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I will show you to where I wish for it to be stowed in my workshop. It will do me little good in my bedroom, I assume. Come,
course.
could one of you lend me your arm?
Who's about his height for this?
I'll lend him my
Wes is pretty tall. He'll do it.
Yeah, I'm carrying the sand.
And so he sort of directs you down the staircase and down into it's not quite like a creepy basement, but it's not like,
Like a
it's not
cellar.
like a home. Yeah, it's a cellar, and it appears to have been widened out over the years into a large ritual chamber. There's several tables across, running along the walls. There are several doors that appear to be locked. They're like heavy steel doors. Sort of sitting in the center of the room is a large circle that's been sort of sketched out with chalk. And then on the edge of the circle is like a lectern with a large tome in it on top of it. And the tome is actually chock full of writing that you absolutely cannot understand. The sigils and glyphs and...
Can I try to?
Sure, roll Arcana.
Nosy.
Just
You recognize some of this as sort of the key runes of divination magic, but to get a better understanding of it
so
would require far more time and expertise than you have in front of you.
well, just a glance anyway.
Is Ranovan's like goal, like the center of his research, something that's like known to us, or
I believe he explained it to you last time.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I can't remember
Did he? What? I can't remember that part. It seems like he's
because I remember
expert in
talking
the
about
field of
divination.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the artifact was
I
also.
believe I explained it last time, so I will tell you guys again.
it's weird that I didn't
intended
write
to
it down.
His goal is to is what he calls large temporal shift divination. So he's attempting to peer back into the past to figure out what happened when the Great Disaster came.
Gotcha.
Oh, jeez.
Because nobody who was there survived. And moments that are not all moments are easily like divine, and
That's a
this one
doozy.
is particularly difficult, and both the time span and the events surrounding it make it doubly hard. So nobody has succeeded. He considered it to be his life's work.
Yeah.
He
Gotcha.
was sort of the first one of the early elves born after the great disasters, and so he's like holding like
So
his last.
since my father was a historian, I guess you would have known him quite well.
Yes, it's sort of parallel routes to the diviners, the archaeologists, the adventurers. Everyone sort of circle jerking and trying to be the first one to figure it.
I see. So we're in his cellar, and he's showing us where to put the stars in.
He just asked you to put the bag on one of the tables. Could I get a perception check?
From who?
Everyone in the room, except for Baz. He doesn't get to make them. So
Oof.
He's here.
well, Baz does get to make them.
Whoa.
Rainer's listening in, but it seems like he's not able to talk.
Um, uh, Who's writing the novel? Not that I get to talk about writing novels.
Well,
It's me.
Okay.
multiple people of us were doing it.
I mean, I wasn't that time.
We were writing the notes about the sage's life work.
Oh, you guys are actually taking notes. I'm proud of you guys.
Oh yeah, that's why I
I've
was
been
like
taking
really
notes.
surprised that I didn't have it because I've been writing down the most mundane shit. Like,
Dude, I've been taking all kinds of notes, like just in case Random missed some notes. Like I totally fucking clocked a guard in the face and didn't and then took shit in the guildmaster booth.
Norbert's notes are all in character. Eat mushrooms.
You
Fuck
guys,
that guy up,
you
shit and
probably
boot.
remember things that I forget. So if I say something and you think that it's wrong, because it contradicts your notes, you can always ask if I'm telling the truth or if I'm simply misremembering. You know, like if you have any notes that Ranavan's a divination wizard and I start talking about its evocation projects, you can be like, "Is that a lie or are you misremembering?" Like, "Oh, I'm misremembering. He's a divination." So that's just the thing, because I don't necessarily always have time to keep notes in the session, and sometimes things pop up. When things happen. Wes, you notice from where kindergarten crowns.
Yikes.
You notice out of the corner of your eye through one of the. So I'm gonna sketch some things really quick. Hang on, new page.
Art stream, boys.
Art time. Hey yo.
Oof.
So
Get
you
it.
are in map. How do I draw a shape? Draw it. So you're in sort of a large room. And so you came in from over here, and there are some tables and shit on the walls.
It's a long table. Probably multiple.
That
That's
wasn't
where he
intended
cooks
to
the
be
meth.
wrong. Of course I can't, like, on the foot.
It's fine, Rena. I understand. Shit happens.
There are a pair of like steel doors on the walls. I mean in the walls because that's where doors go. And almost like a prison. There's a little like grated window. And Wes, do any of you have dark vision or low light vision?
I do.
Yeah, I have
Everyone
low
except
light.
me has low light.
Who doesn't?
I don't.
Wes.
well, Wes is the one with the high perception roll, so
Yeah.
he's actually the one who's seen. You guys would have seen it on 15 or higher. But Wes, you actually see what appears to be somebody chained up through that window, as you put the open hand, or you guys would.
Radovan likes it kinky.
Oh, this is on the wrong scale, so everyone be large.
Nice.
So you see somebody like chained up in a.
Wes is quite concerned, and will look a little closer and examine the fellow. This is while Enda would be ferrying the bag to university.
So you guys can position yourselves.
What are these squares?
Can I?
Uh,
I don't think I can.
a 2x2 is 5 feet ish. This is not accurate to the actual thing, but it's close.
I can't actually move these.
Oh, can you not? Oh, because they're on the map plate. There, maybe you can actually
Yep.
move them.
That does it.
Alright, Wes will look a little closer. What kind of
Well-
person is he?
That's a sage.
The person
Chained up,
walked
he
out.
means.
Oh, what kind of person is it?
What do they look like?
Scrawny, destitute, dirty. They're not moving.
Deprived.
Do I think they're alive?
Roll medicine. The sage has stumbled over to one of the tables and seems to be concerning himself with it. I don't know, they're not moving. Maybe they're sleeping. And they're like chained up with like their hands above their heads with manacles.
Are they wearing anything?
No.
I'm not part of this. I was just carrying the sand over, so I'm like over on this side of the room.
Wes will.
I'm keeping an eye on the sage since the sages had to do with
I don't think anyone else noticed the prisoner though.
Whatever group tortured me.
Wesel, since seeing that he's worried he might be suspicious on his own, will come over afterward.
Wes, does the fate of these people concern you on an emotional level?
At least a little bit. He's has to ask the sage first, but
Okay.
I imagine there's something.
Are you gonna ask him?
I guess now is the only time you would.
Yeah.
Sage, why is there a man starving in this room? What?
The sage turns to you with sort of a sad look. Leans back against the table that he's leaning against, and you hear him softly snap his fingers. And he says, well, that is unfortunate. I had hoped that you would come down here and be less perceptive. I suppose I must come entirely clean. Those who do not practice advanced divination do not understand that our magics, like illusion, are quite closely associated. And with all things associated with the mind, there is risk. appear things that should not be seen, one may find their mind shattered.
So he saw something he shouldn't have.
I must admit that in the pursuit of my research, I've been unwilling to risk my potential. I have an understanding with the local guard. Certain criminal elements who find their way into my hands could be put to better use than the mines or slave labor or execution. That is nothing. That was me having the wrong tool select when I was trying to move it to.
I just couldn't tell if it was something on my screen or if it was on the map.
No, it's a small gray rectangle when I was trying to draw the doors.
Gotcha.
Wes is shocked, disillusioned. They're people, and you're using them like guinea pigs.
You must understand, young alchemists, that everything I do is for the advancement of our science. You, a man of the arts themselves, you surely understand what it is that sacrifices must be made. Surely not all your alchemical concoctions could be made with no research subject.
There's so many other ways. Why this way? Why?
Believe me, I would use animals, but animals cannot tell me what they have seen in the past.
There's so many clues out there to find. We just have to look. But you rob these people of their eyes, of their will, of their life. This can't be the way.
I assure you that they do not suffer in the attempt. They very rarely survive. That man in that room, he is dead, I most assure you. But he coughs into his hand, and there's a little bit of blood flecked on it, and he says, I trust very few with my work, and I have not had the chance to give him a proper burial. I believe that the insights gleaned by his sacrifice have brought me very close to the next threshold. I believe that with my next attempt, I can truly look into the past and see what I have long sought for.
Will it have really been worth killing your friend? Wes will break down a little bit and just will cradle his head in his hands. This is wrong, Sage. No matter what ends you seek to reach, these means are not right. I thought you better than this.
He straightens at this, and he seems a little bit angry. And he says, "Better? Who are you? Some ignorant whelp to question me in my work? I assure you that I proceed here with full sponsorship of Sage's College. Your father understood. I expect
Did he,
you
though?
to." He
Would he
knew.
have really wanted this? I knew my father better than you. I know that. There's no way he would have allowed this.
Oh, please. And the relics that were obtained for his research? The tomes that they pulled out of the ruins east of the Edge? Were those ever obtained with zero sacrifice of life?
Not like this.
Ah, yes. Because you delvers understand what it is to put your life on the line, and these petty criminals, they simply stumbled into it.
I won't hear any more of this. I need to know just how far have you taken this? How many people have you sacrificed?
He gestures over to the other table, and the table across the room. And on it is sitting a notebook.
Liz will begrudgingly begin to walk over to read it.
And in the notebook is pages on pages of names and dates, and it's almost a research log of sorts. And you can sort of skim through, but it looks like the number of victims and the number of attempted the number of victims, the number of experiments is at least in upwards of 100 over the past 20, 30 years. Many of them are marked with test subject deceased, but not.
Liz will, horrified, turn and look at the sage. It will get visibly enraged and just storm out. And leave.
You sense a faint resistance as you pass through this doorway into the corridor, but it does not inhibit your path.
Oh. Well, he's gone.
Norbert's gonna question if the sage ever experimented on goblins with mist.
The sage sort of waves his hand and says, "The mist of the now is not my concern. The mists of the past, those are what cloud my vision."
And what is it that you've learned of the past with this great sacrifice?
I have advanced our ability to divine further and further. I'm sure your parlor magicians over at the Delver Society are practiced diviners of the now, and perhaps what is the weather tomorrow. Oops, I didn't mean to scale everyone's tokens like that. That was wrong. Everyone shrinks. There's text. But divination of the past is a lost art. Do you know that I could tell you what your ancestors 900 breakfast? I am so very close to the great disaster.
And what good would that do me, Sage?
What good does it do you? Nothing. But the gold I pay for delvers puts food on your table, keeps steel in your hands, and keeps your armor well oiled. And so I expect that if you want to continue receiving my gold and my patronage, you shut up and follow my requests, or I will find delvers more capable of discretion.
And is the Guildmaster aware of this arrangement of yours?
I have told you. My arrangements with the City Guard, the Sages College, all support my work. Your Guildmaster has not concerned himself with my work. It does not concern him. My work is legal and is so eligible for contract. If he wishes to bar you from taking my contracts, that is his decision, but I will find help. If you have nothing further, I suggest you leave my atelier. I've had enough disturbances for one day. You will receive your payment for delivery to your society hall.
I should hope so.
Shit in his boots and leave.
He's wearing his boots. Well, he's not wearing boots, he's wearing like slippers.
And will stomp away towards the door, but cast back a closing remark that hopefully there's someone here to pick you up off the ground next time, Sage.
Cool. All right. I need to get a drink of water because doing that dumb voice. Is my throat.
Yeah.
I got a little bit gravelly. I'm sorry.
What a fucking douche. Fucking elves.
It's my next feat that I train. I take your boot off and shit in it.
You
And then you also
pickpocketing,
have
but you're just
ammunition to
reverse
throw.
pickpocketing shit into people's boots.
Now you have a shit Molotov to throw at someone.
Enemies flat-footed, they're on unfavorable terrain.
It's also a trap. Because if they put the boot on, that's disgusting.
Marked by scent.
Water. So you return to the guild hall, or the Delver's hall, and you are paid a further 8 gold coins for your exploits today.
Okay.
8
8
as a group or as individuals?
as a group.
Gotcha. Plus 2.
Yeah. So I think actually, given this pacing, we won't have a combat this session. It's okay. Probably.
You good?
Just like the commentary in the Discord. Sorry. So, having been paid for that job, you are free, to pursue downtime activities. And I will say that you have a week of downtime.
I wish I had something on hand for this.
I mean, do you
Oh,
have
sorry, I
an
forgot
idea?
to mention something that I feel like I should have mentioned. Enda and Norbert, as you are leaving the ritual room, and also Baz, who is following around like a sheep, you also feel a faint resistance, as though you're sort of like like stepping through a bubble almost, and then you're fine.
So he's got a prison down there that only
Is
those who
that
lets
why
out
his
can
robe
leave.
was taken off slightly? Yeah.
So you have a week of downtime. You can pursue odd jobs or whatever it is. I forget which is your downtime.
It feels
I-
really weird knowing that our black card escapades came after that, and the timeline doesn't really make sense. I don't think Wes would have been in the mood for that. But
I mean,
Well, this
you-
is
that's
this
how
is
it
over the span of a week.
yeah, let's just say it happened at some point.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say that you went to knock on the sage's door. He didn't answer. You went and had your black card escapade, and you went back and checked on him the next morning
Oh yeah,
to deliver the sand.
sure. That sounds reasonable.
Makes sense.
All right, so a week.
Well,
How much?
some
money
of us
do I
have
need for
modeling
this?
gigs lined up.
Oh yeah.
I was looking for a picture of a male orc model, but I couldn't find one.
See, there's this concept in dungeon mastering called fail forward. And so I have failed. I
found
forward into
probably the closest
other
thing
bondage
you're gonna get.
Oh my god.
So that's the income.
Okay, sorry. What was that right?
There's a concept in dungeon mastering called fail forward, to say yes but, and so I have failed Baz forward into orc modeling.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's maybe easier work than he's used to.
Also, having that Loktar Ogar step by step. It's rough on the psyche, you know?
Yeah, just take that picture and edit on some nipple tassels and you're good to go.
so as it turns out, I don't have enough money to craft one. Pretty bad. I guess Wes will seek like a part-time job at like an alchemist place, like Hawks maybe. Help
Sure.
craft some stuff. So I guess I'll
where the
roll
hell is
craft.
Damn down.
If that is even.
Jesus, where's the other downtime activity? Create income.
It's under skills, I think. Oh, it might be elsewhere too, though. You decide like the level of the task.
There we go. Why it's in the freaking. I mean, these are level 1 tasks, so.
All right.
Because I think that's all you.
So how many days of work do I get?
Let us see. You can work for a full week. Everyone can work.
All right.
I would like to use my underworld lore to earn income.
Okay.
Doing a smuggle.
Doing a smuggle. And so everyone needs to roll their thing that they're using to earn income.
I have a +1 on this because of specialty crafting feat. Also, I rolled a 20.
Oops.
Alright. So
Yeah.
since I had a critical success, I perform as if I was 1 level higher.
Yes. So you earn 3 silver pieces a day, so you earn 21 silver pieces. So you make 2 gold.
Sounds like some interesting BDSM job you're taking on there.
Oh man.
Baz earns 4 copper pieces a day for 7 days, so he earns 20. He earns 3 silver. He earns a neat 3 silver from that experience.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Can I do like survival to like gather food or something?
I would think that.
I didn't-
Let's see. I mean, you can use Underworld Lore to earn income.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, sorry, I got people mixed up again.
Enda can do that, but I don't know if that suits his character arc.
Yeah.
Did you do my gold money as I wasn't paying attention?
Norbert earns. He earns 1 silver piece a day for 7 days. So he earns 7 silver.
Nice.
Well, Enda could do maybe like some bodyguard work or something. I don't know. Something less dirty.
You could also work at the Delvers Society. You know, doing like secretarial work. That's your Delvers Society lore.
Secretary Enda.
Dude, I could see
They're
it
always short
though.
of hand.
Just like
They need
lanky
shit
and
done.
grumpy, just sitting behind a desk sorting papers.
Hammer walks up. Enda, clean my boot.
Oh my god.
Polishing hammers. Well, I think that's the deal. What do I do? Like roll Delver's lore?
Yeah, you can wear Delvers Society lore. You can use lores to earn income. Well, unfortunately, you
Not much.
You make 2 copper pieces a day.
I'm not suited for desk work, you know. It's
So you make 1.5 silver.
I'm gonna go.
I sort a couple papers. I go hit the tavern.
Okay.
Bitch.
So who just left?
Yoji.
Okay.
No,
So we'll start with Wes. So Wes returns to Hawk's shop, having helped him out already, um, Hawk is more than welcome to put you to work for a couple of days, and it's a combination of cleaning, but also he doing like alchemy. I mean, it's real alchemy that you haven't seen before. You
cut out a bit.
have taught yourself sort of the quick and dirty like combat alchemy.
What did you say? Like, you cut out a bit in the middle of all that.
Oh, sorry. It's a lot of cleaning, yes. His shitty shop, but it's also a lot of real alchemy, and it's alchemy that you haven't seen before. You taught yourself sort of the quick and dirty combat alchemy to sort of like produce things that are useful to an adventurer. But he teaches you a lot about ingredient preparation, about ingredient storage. There's a lot to be learned from this man. He pays you well.
Nice.
Baz returns to. Oh man, I need to figure out a name for.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, this is it's the name of the owner is the real question. He's a gnome. There we go. You return to the shop of Vilfintech's Summit of Leather. To climb upon his mountain of leather and lacy goods and flex for your modeling job. It seems that upon your return, some of the shine has worn off, and perhaps in the heat of the moment and with the sweat from chasing after a thief, that you seem slightly more attractive. And while he's not displeased with your service or your job, it's not going as well as he expected. So you get an okay pay, but it could have been better. Enda is put to task doing odd jobs around the Delver Society. Let's just say there's a reason why they keep him doing field work. Paperwork is managed to be completed just subtly wrong. It's not quite Norbert Crayon tier, but just things misplaced, columns of numbers added slightly incorrectly, shit boots that weren't shined quite well enough. You did manage to replace the door that had a hole in it, much to the secretary's delight. And they give you a fair wage, but they can't give you more, given they also had to pay somebody to go back and unfuck half the paperwork that you did.
Fair enough.
Is Yoji back?
I guess not.
Guess not. I'm not gonna narrate his part when it's not here.
I guess I should probably actually like get on uploading VODs, because mine don't last forever.
Yeah. It's too bad about your microphone in the first one, but
Yeah.
this one should be fine.
I can't remember. Are there rules for like do you have to spend money to like keep up a lifestyle?
Yes, there is a cost of living. I need to find it.
Aha.
Yee.
I think it's per month.
Table 6-16. So yeah, you as society members, you can live in the society dorms, which is a comfortable living for half the price of regular comfortable living. So that'll be 2 GP per month. So
that was a week, so a fourth of that.
yeah, it'll be 4 silver pieces.
Whoa.
Because apparently there are 5 weeks to the month.
Math doesn't add up. So you said it was the base price for a week is
Alright.
for a month is 2 for comfortable.
I'm not gonna actually fucking look at this shit. This sounds like a chore.
Okay,
Yeah, that's.
that's fine. I couldn't find the chart personally.
It's table 6-16 on page 294.
I fuck up paperwork just to pay my bills.
Oh, here.
By the way, so Norbert spends his week trying to find work among the Goblin Criminal Society, and he ends up being hired on as muscle for a group of goblins. Let's see, I need a randomly generated whatever the
Just make a noise.
bringing a new experimental drug made by necromancers called Tombstone. It's pretty radical stuff, and you come in handy. There's a moment where the goblins that are transporting these crates of Tombstone are attacked by a rival gang, and you manage to bite the shit out of one of them and scare them off. And they pay you out of your cut is, I forgot what it was, but I already told you.
Yeah, 6 gold.
Not 6 gold, 6 silver.
Oh, yeah. I already.
Rich goblin.
It's.
Now, it's very possible that you cannot make a subsistence wage. You can subsist using society or survival food. Man. Who knew that that games would so closely mirror reality? On the 7th day, you return from your day's labor to your respective domiciles, and you find, waiting in the center of your room, each of you. I don't know if you guys are like hanging out in the same buddy or something. In each room that you guys happen to be residing in, you find a single black business card.
Motherfucker.
At the end of the week.
At the end of the week.
And that's the cliffhanger, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll end it there. Because fuck you guys.
God damn it.
I mean, we can go a little bit further. We can have you investigate what's on the other end of those black business cards, but depends if you guys want to keep going or not.
There's only one way through that door. And there's no going back through it.
Norbert takes his hatchet out, slits his wrist a little.
Wait, hold on. Norbert wasn't there
Norbert
for any
shits
of the
on the business
investigation.
card.
He doesn't know that.
Realistically, Norbert's actually just sucking on the business card.
Nah, what happens is Norbert is upset to see it, so he takes a shit on the business card, but he's been pushing his ass way too hard, so there's some blood in his shit.
Wait a second. He never even saw the card. I don't think he would know what it is.
That's why he shit on it.
I guess so. Yeah, now that I think about it. Neither Baz nor Norbert know about that.
True.
I guess now they need to.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is something we should probably have Rainy for.
Which is why we will cliffhanger here.
Yeah, that seems like the best
Next
option.
week,
All right.
we will investigate why the black cards are back. Da, 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 da. Okay, thank you guys. That ends our session. Thank you for shitting in boots today.
That was a lot of fun. Things got a little heated. Things were a little bit sad because Rainy had to deal with some shit.
This that happens. It is okay. This is casual play for fun times. And,
I mean, Randy, if it makes you feel better, if you hadn't been AFK for a while, a man probably wouldn't have got decked in the face.
Somehow, Yoji found a way to pin this on you.
It's all because he got offended by the fact that a goblin was twerking around in the courtyard.
it's not that it was like a racist thing. It was just anybody twerking in the courtyard. I swear.
Who the fuck has a goblin net?
It's not a dedicated goblin, but it is.
What was he, Cat the Goblin Hunter?
Not very good, apparently.
He's gonna keep showing up. He's gonna be a recurring.
Doomed us now.
Alright, I'm gonna close down the stream.
Alright. If anyone's watching this, I hope you tune in next time.
Bye, bots!
Smile.